Good evening, all. Welcome to 26 of the Midweek Mixup podcast. This week we have our full panel back, other than Broyr, who is MIA for the moment. So, in place of Broyr, we have our resident Sea of Thieves enthusiast, Hertog Vin.
Yeah, thanks for having me
Before
again.
we start, we will get our intros out the way off. So, first and foremost, we'll go for Xbox Boob Erwin fan, Archimedes. How you doing, big boy?
Xbox Boob Erwin fan.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Doing good. I'm doing good. I'm a little torn. It's actually also a sad day. I heard some really sad news today. A good community member of ours passed away. He didn't make the battle from COVID and his cancer. So shout out to iDIZZYi. It was actually the sad news of the day. Can't stop thinking of him. He was a really good lad. He and I we talked on a regular basis in our DMs. He was a fantastic guy, and I want to give a big shout out to him and my sincerest condolences to his family and friends.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, same here.
What we will do as well, we'll obviously at the end of the show, I'm going to remind everybody, but on Sunday, usually Ironlords podcast do their own show midday, roughly. I think it's 5-6 o'clock UK time, 7 o'clock is it for the EU? And of course, they're paying tribute to iDIZZYi on Sunday. So anybody who comes and watches ourselves every week, please jump in on Sunday and give them support. Obviously, that's one of their panel members that lost there. Underneath as well, in the description for this video, I will put up the GoFundMe page for iDIZZYi's family. So if you have anything or are willing to, obviously go and help towards the cause to give them a bit of support as well. But obviously we're all thinking of them and the crew and his family at that time, because that's a horrific thing to have to go through, especially with the family left behind. So hats off to everybody as well for showing that support. But other than that, Archimedes, how are you doing today, bro?
Other than that, I'm doing good. Been playing a lot of games lately. I'm not so busy at work at the moment, so I get to spend quite some time with my consoles. And today I started to boot up Dirt 5 for the first time, and I'm really enjoying it. Having a lot of fun with it. Even though I probably suck at the game, I'm enjoying sucking at the game. So no, a fantastic game. I also am almost done with my new playthrough of God of War. Still a fantastic game, and at 60 FPS, it really elevates the game to another level. So I'm having a lot of fun with that as well.
Awesome stuff. And what is it that's kind of got you into playing that then? Obviously, you said you're pretty awful at it, but what's made you kind of jump into that one then?
I mean, it wasn't Game Pass. Yeah, it wasn't Game Pass. So I usually try all the good or better rated games that come into Game Pass. I just want to know and build my own opinion about games. But I'm usually not the biggest racing fan. I have to be careful here with Erwin in the room, but no, I like arcade racers. I'm not the big simulation type of simulation racing fan, but this one I'm having a lot of fun now. Really enjoying it. I want to have some races tomorrow with a friend, so looking forward to that.
Awesome stuff. There's a lot to look forward to in terms of games and gaming and community events, etc. recently, so that's
Absolutely.
awesome. I had a go on Dirt 5 as well the other day on the online and won my first online race, which was awesome. But it's a lot of fun. There's a lot less. I feel if you go online on Forza Horizon 4 to try and play some community games, you tend to, especially in the races, it seems to be a lot of people that just zoom off into the distance and like glitching away.
Yeah.
But on Dirt 5, I didn't have that. It was very, very kind of neck and neck all the way through, and it felt more like a race, like a very achievable race these days. So I think I want to play a little bit more of the online on Dirt 5 as well, especially with potentially Erwin and everybody else, but the rest of the panel members. I think it'd be awesome.
it's just an easy game to pick up and play, right? Even then for Archie as well. If you're not into really racing games, this is just an easy game to play for everybody, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's really approachable. So and also the level designs are actually really good. There are some tracks that I really like. The cars are also handling actually quite different from each other, which is pretty cool as well. So yeah, I think overall, I think Dirt 5 is a really decent game. It's not super great, but it's just fun to play.
Right, it's just a fun game. Yeah, it's not the best game I ever made, no doubt, but it's just a fun game, especially for. I started it actually during my workday when I had 30 minutes in between two Skype meetings, and it's a perfect game for that. Yeah, you can easily pick it up. Drive 2 or 3 races and just move on. But you have a lot of fun with it. Yeah.
Yes, it can be a grind though when you want to complete a single player because you've quite some a lot races. So before you complete the single player races, it can be a grind at some point.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, some of the ones that I've been on there kind of a grind, and some of the vehicles you just don't want to race in.
No, exactly.
You kind of forced to for a while.
But which tracks do you like so far the best? I really like the icy snow levels, also especially at night when the lightning comes in right on the ice and you see all things lighting up and all the cracks in the ice.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I like the one in Africa. That's also a really good track.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the dust settling in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
From the desert, that's also looking good.
I love the kind of uphill, downhill. I've forgotten what track it is. It's very windy, a lot of drifty, but it's all gravel. I think you might know which one I'm talking about.
Is it the Greek the Greek track?
It might be, yeah. I think that's one of my favorites. It has a jump just before the finish line.
Yeah, exactly. So that's more Archie's neighborhood, his backyard. So he will probably do fine.
Probably. But overall a fun game.
Oh, go on. Awesome stuff. Next up, we have, of course, our resident. He's got the drinks on the go tonight, so it'll be should be fun.
He's going to be funny tonight again.
Woman Zuba. Shomberlon, how are you doing today, brother?
Woman Zuba, Shomberlon.
Woman Zuba.
Let's go.
Let's go. See, Pat knows.
Cheers, Sean.
I know.
Let's go. I'm good. A little bit tired. Had a busy day today. A lot of talking, so it's just mentally quite draining. But this week I've been playing quite a few different games. I got talked into. Well, I say talked. It wasn't really talked. I just kind of said, "Shall I get this?" And Drew's kind of like, "Yep, get it." I was like, "Oh, okay. Shall I get this?" "Yep, get it." So, I subbed to PS Now to get Final Fantasy Remake for 3 months. Although, to be honest with you, they're bringing out some really good games for each month, so I might just do it for the year.
That's what I did. I never had PS
You can't go wrong with PS Now. Like I've had so many good games from that so far, and a lot of them are
PS Plus.
mainly exclusives as well. Like every month they guarantee one exclusive.
Recently, it's been really good. So depending on how much I play, I might cop for a year. But I also got PS Now for 3 months for absolutely free because
did the download finish? Yeah.
How is it?
That's annoying, huh?
It's pretty crap. If I'm going to be honest.
That's really annoying.
Yeah, Steve was streaming it, and then he had to stop streaming because the download took 12 more hours.
Yeah, but the thing is, you download it, and then it still needs to copy. It still needs to copy it. For fuck's sake, that's really annoying.
Yeah, it told me that the game had downloaded. So I started playing Final Fantasy, and then you got to the end of the demo section, and it went right. Now you've got to wait whatever hours for it to finish downloading. I was like, you just told me it downloaded.
Yeah.
But PS Now servers are hot garbage. I will show you. This is all I get at the moment on PS Now servers when I'm looking at the games. So I get some tiles, but then you get some that are. So I don't even know what the game is until I click on it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is slow.
What a
But
joke.
it's not a case of being slow. It just doesn't load up. I've left it on that screen for when I was working. I left it on there for half an hour while I was working, and nothing changed. It just didn't load up.
That's weird. You're still on the PS4, right?
The PS4 Pro.
PS4 Pro, yeah, but you should think they have figured out those issues by now on the old one.
I still think their marketplace is a mess, to be honest.
No, their marketplace is
so
awful.
hard to navigate.
So hard to find what you were looking for. I hate their marketplace.
Like they used to just have a little section where it was just for PlayStation, like it was just PlayStation only games, and that's gone. And now you have to go into like several different subcategories to get into only on PlayStation. Like,
But I was a little bit annoyed because I was hoping to, although I'd probably never play it, I just wanted to download it anyway to make sure I had it, was that Destruction All Stars. But you can't get it on the PS4. You can't even kind of claim it on the PS4. So
no, you can't. You can't claim it at all. There's a few like
that. So unless you've actually got the PS5, then you can't. You can't claim
some of them, yeah. Like that Maquette game that's come out for PlayStation 5 this month, and this month's PS Plus, you can't even add to library, which is stupid. I think you should be able to add these games to library for the future.
Exactly, yeah. Because you've got your list. You've got your list that you can add to. But yeah, I've downloaded Days Gone. I bought Days Gone, but I've not actually played that yet.
Fantastic.
What are you doing?
Highly underrated.
That's a popland.
See, he goes on at me and goes, "Oh, Steve's drinking. It's going to be fun tonight. You know, he's going to be laughing."
Yeah.
Did you start early, Erwin? Have you been like,
"Oh man, I missed you, man"? So
did you have a liquid lunch?
No, I figured I found a popland and then on my desk, and then I thought I'd put you.
Anyway, I downloaded, since I have PS Now for 3 months, I downloaded Second Son because I never played that.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that. The only thing that I find annoying is because it was a launch window game, wasn't it? For the PS4.
At least it was very early in the generation, yeah.
Yeah, they use all the kind of turn your controller, spray paint.
Yeah.
And then swipe left and right to unlock things. It's just like, just let me use the buttons. I don't want to use the touchpad. So it's all very gimmicky.
Is it Concrete Genie's like that?
Is it?
Like you have to use your controller to create the ball and thing. I'm like, I don't want to be sitting here doing this. Like
exactly, yeah. But I mean, the core of the game, I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm right at the beginning, still right at the beginning, but it's still quite a fun game. So I've been playing that. What else have I been playing? I did the demo of Outriders. So I've played through that.
What are your thoughts? I played that as well.
I think the shooting's a little bit rough, if I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that may be because I've come off the back of Division 2. With the shooting on that's really tight. It's really on point.
Yeah.
Whereas,
it's really different. The combat is much higher paced, or faster paced. Here in Outriders, it's really, if you don't leverage your superpowers all the time, you have no
really
chance.
It really wants you to use the first character I chose was the Pyromancer.
Me too.
Once I got all three going, all three, what do you call it, powers. In order to really effectively use them, is you have to pretty much use them all at once. Which I don't mind because they're the ones that like regenerate really, really. But it was more the shooting mechanics I found hard. That like with the Division, if you're like shooting over cover, and then you press the left trigger, and you'll pop up and you'll be where the cursor is. I always felt with Outriders, the cursor wasn't where I was looking, over cover. So you kind of like in a different place. So I ended up like kind of shooting up too high a couple of times until I actually figured out the mechanics a bit better. But it's fun. I do enjoy it. I'm not sure if it'll be a day one for me. I think it's one of the few things that when I turn around and go, I'll wait for reviews, just to see what it's like. It was enough to pique my interest, but the review. I might see if there's any negative. That's the only thing I use for reviews is to see if there's an overwhelming majority negative for X, Y, and Z, rather than the actual score of the thing. I don't give a crap if it gets a 70, but people are saying it's fun, then I'll still get it.
I pre-ordered. I really enjoyed it. I got some Mass Effect vibes out of it. So I like that it's not a games as a service title. People, when I went through my Twitter feed, they were all talking, we don't know what the end game will look like. Not every game needs an end game. I'm totally fine by having a 30-40 hour campaign and another 10 hours with side quests, and then have a finished game. That's totally fine for me.
Have everything wrap up.
And I can't wait. I like this where the story is heading. I mean, you could tell, and with the animations, especially with the character faces and everything, that it lacks a little bit of budget, probably. A
little bit of polish is missing.
Yeah, but overall, I did have a lot of fun. I like how they build up the world, what you can do with the RPG elements and everything. So I can't wait for the full game.
It should be good.
I like what the story's bringing so far. Beyond that, I don't think I'm going to get it day one. I think it's okay. I think before they release that game, obviously there's a little bit more polish to go in terms of technical. Graphical looks fine. I don't think there's any issues there, but I think technically they can probably polish it a little bit more, get it running a bit smoother. I think the frame rate was quite choppy on the demo. There was definitely some stuttering, a few little bugs here and there, but hopefully that's ironed out with the day one patch.
Yeah, it's a demo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's an early build as well.
I tweeted it out, or I tweeted something about it, and then somebody was also mentioning, but PS5 is running a log 60 frames and stress and this and that. But I said, guy, it's just a demo. It's really an old build, probably half a year old build. They have probably fine-tuned it all, and it will be log 60 when it launches. No,
it's right. When will they learn? Like the amount of times they've kind of gone herpty-derpty-derp, and then 12 hours later the devs have gone, we've got a patch coming out. It'll be fine.
Yes. So I said to him, go bake a cake and celebrate, mate.
You have a recipe?
He didn't respond anymore.
It's because you're probably muted or blocked now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I hope so. Some dudes can block me, no problem.
That's the thing, is the most toxic tend to be the most weak as well in terms of their emotions. They're kind of like and block.
Yeah, but they're too much invested, Steve. That's why they're so emotional. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we've said before. It's like their whole identity seems to be based on having a win, and to have an L is kind of like the worst thing. This is what I don't get about people. When someone like you'll get someone like Rand or something, and they'll make a prediction about what's happening at E3, and then people will be like, "Oh, well, you said this," and it's just like, "No, I guessed. It's a prediction for a reason." And if he does get it wrong, you're kind of like, I'll take an L. What's so bad about admitting you were wrong about something? What kind of narcissist are you to think that you can never get anything wrong?
No, exactly. And
anyway,
I found out there's a new crap gamer style person on Twitter as well. It's called King Trash, or what is it? Trash. Trash in his name. The dumb fuck. Man.
He was standing on his Series Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And looking for clout and attention seeker, then I'm like, oh man, you got another one. It's so tiring. It's so old. It's childish.
Yeah, but he got burned down, right? In the comments, and then his next post was, "Oh man, I love Game Pass."
yeah. Go where the wind blows. Yeah,
and now he's an Xbox fan.
Yeah.
It's the TikTok generation chasing clout. That's all it is.
Yeah man.
Anyway,
thirdly,
back to gaming.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, that's all right. We're going to jump into that anyway. So next up, there's the pot plant. Next up is the pot plant. Thatcher, how are you doing today, brother?
Oh my god! Yeah, well, I'm doing good, man. Yeah.
My bad.
I think for Pat's birthday, we should all send him one of those plants from Mario. The little snappy ones.
Oh yeah.
No, I work with plants, so it's not a. I seen enough plants for this year, so.
What you been up to?
No,
What you been up to?
Well, I've been quite busy with work last week. We had some Mother's Day coming up, and had some long days. But doing the usual as always: work, play games, spend some time relaxing and stuff. So been a lot on Sea of Thieves lately with Erwin, Vincent, Emu.
Thanks for the invite, by the way.
and Shomberlon, of course.
No, not Shomberlon, because you never invite me.
No, but yeah, I've been hooked on Sea of Thieves again, and I've been playing that the last few weeks, so it's a really awesome game to play. So
Look at Steve.
Almost legend. Hey, we're almost legends, by the way. All of us.
I'm like level 26 or 28, something like that.
Yep, same. Same. It's a long time ago. Every time I try to join in, it's like a full party. Everybody's like a team of four.
that's so annoying because with this game, you want to play like with all of your friends, and the max is 4 people, and we have like now a total of 8 people, I guess, that play.
Or more.
Yeah, even more. So
because
it would be really nice if
server.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I hope that they
have an armada.
But there's an update coming soon with the alliance servers. So you have this service that only have alliances. So you can log in with multiple people, but on servers with only alliances.
Well, that'd be good.
That's cool.
Yeah, that would be
Could
pretty
you do all the
nice,
same quests though?
Yeah. Because basically, once you've got an alliance, that quest goes for everybody in that alliance.
Right, that'd be good. Yeah, that's what I mean. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So then I can invite you. Yeah.
And if you bring Dutch,
you can invite us. Not before. Then. We know where we stand, Dutch. We know where we stand.
We do.
But Dutch has the Shrouded Ghost already. We don't.
Yeah.
We are sailing for 3.5 years, and he got it like the third time he's playing.
Yep.
Dutch will join, and they'll be telling us to scrub the decks because we're lower rank.
Yeah, I know. We'll master seals. You get the seals.
Yeah, that's where you start, man. That's where you start.
The only thing you don't need to do is sell the vault key. I bet.
No, exactly. No, hey, wait a minute. That was not me. That was Barry.
Barry or Emu, huh?
No, it was
Barry.
Barry.
Was it Barry?
It was Barry. Yeah, for sure, it was Barry.
3 hours sailing.
My bad.
Yeah. That was crazy. Like, I was so excited to get that vault quest, and all of a sudden, Emu says, "What the heck? Someone sold the vault key." I was like, "What? No way!" Then I stopped playing. I was done for that night.
Rage quit.
Yeah, serious.
Awesome
But,
stuff.
It's so fun to play.
And obviously, this week you've passed your forklift driver's license as well, so you can do that going forward. Congratulations on that.
Yesterday. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, guys. Like I said, it was pretty easy. Wasn't that difficult. Even the instructor said, like, "What am I doing here? Like, you already got the experience." And it took me like an hour to do some practice stuff, and that was it. So.
Does that mean you could just sack off your driving license and take the forklift home?
No, because I wish, but no, that's impossible.
As in the way.
I have a funny forklift story. Yeah. In my old company where I used to work like 7 years ago or so, a forklift was stolen, and the company didn't know this until the forklift turned up on the black market, and the manufacturer of the forklift called us because someone brought it into a workshop for refurbishing the whole thing. And we realized that this forklift has been stolen 2 years ago. So
Wow.
No,
That's
it's
insane.
2 years.
companies are strange.
We just
Very
thought they misplaced it.
Yeah, I just accidentally drove it home and then sold it. Dear me. And next on to the next panel member this week, of course, we have the regular Pop Plant fan, Mr. Xbox Boobs himself, Forza Erwin. How are you doing this week?
Yeah, I'm doing actually quite well. Work is going really nice. Really good customer visits. Things are going into the right direction with the company. So yeah, feeling really good. Family doing well. There's actually nothing to complain. So that's good. I'm playing. Yeah, I think almost every night Sea of Thieves. And having a lot of fun, man. I'm addicted. I'm now level 52 gold hoarder. I'm 33 or 34 on the merchant and the other one on the Order of Souls. So actually making some steady progress. I'm having a lot of fun. Fishing in the game also a lot of fun. So,
all right, man, Jez Thornton.
Exactly, but yeah, I don't know, but I'm totally in. What is the beautiful thing of the game is the sunset, right? You're on the boat, you're chilling, relaxing, you're laughing with your friends, and you see the beautiful sunset. And somehow I've been to Ibiza, I think 3 times in my life, and it reminds me really of Ibiza, right? The sunset. So, no, having a great time, and yeah, everything going well, and yeah, super excited to be here again. I think we had Friday, we had a really nice podcast with the developer of the Falconeer. So if somebody didn't watch it, go check out the Midweek Mixup YouTube channel to look back for the video, because it was a really interesting interview, I think, with a really interesting guy. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, man, all good.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, definitely. That was a very fun interview. Actually, it was a very frank and upfront and open about everything. So it was really, really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No borders. No borders.
No
borders.
And last but not least, again, Broyr's MIA step in. Hertog Vin, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good.
You're not doing very good.
Yeah, very good.
Okay,
I'm
thanks.
happy to be back.
Good conversation. Okay, now let's move on.
I'm happy to be back again. It's fun. Erwin asked me again, and I was like, yeah, why not? And playing a lot of CFTs with him, with Patrick and the rest of the crew, my wife, the Dutch people, and
so everyone but me and Drew.
I was waiting for your answer. I was waiting for it.
Shomberlon, I'm sorry, but I sailed with Drew as well. But only you. I'm sorry. No, but we tried this game you mentioned before with Fleety Snake and the Queen and Zoe and stuff. The Project Winter game. That was really fun to play.
Oh yeah. I still need to play that. I've downloaded it, but I didn't end up getting to play it.
No, yeah, we did it yesterday with the English team from Fleety Snake.
Yeah.
It was lots of fun. It's lots of fun. You can play it with 8 people, and there's 2 or 3 are traitors, but you don't know who. It's really fun game to play.
So it's kind of like Among Us, but
Among Us, yeah.
I haven't played Among Us, but maybe it is.
But a 3D survival game.
Yeah, it's a survival game. You have to fix the radio station and a helipad to escape, but the traitors can kill you or stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
It's really fun. But you don't know who the traitor is.
Awesome stuff. Well, yeah, I've already got it downloaded again. I need to play it, so we'll have to get something set up and actually get on.
Yeah, I downloaded it before because Shomberlon asked us, let's play it all together. But it never came up, and then Fleety Snake.
He didn't invite you. He didn't invite you to play.
He doesn't want to play with us.
Oh, yours just disappeared. I'm sure that weekend nobody was on.
Yeah. I think maybe it's just me and Shom, which is why we ended up on the division.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a date, so
It was just that weekend.
Can't blame me. I'm just a guest. I'm just a guest. Can't blame me.
I can and I will.
I love you, Sean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course. You know that. You know that.
Throw all your treasure overboard as you're sailing away.
And I started playing Dragon Quest again. You know the one Drew doesn't like the English voiceovers.
The voice acting is terrible.
Yeah, but it's a really good game. You know, combat wise and stuff. So I highly recommend it.
I wish you did the voiceovers for Gaal.
No, I can do the Dutch, but I cannot even speak proper Dutch. So it's terrible, man. I can only speak Rotterdamlish.
Yes.
Rotterdamlish? What the
heck? It's terrible. But, you know, the game is really fun, and I like to thank the Queen and Pink Ninja Bunny and Fleety Snake in the game for inviting me again for the game. It was really fun. And we should do it again. With Shomberlon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And get another PUBG tournament on the go.
I know, I'm just getting the sympathy invite.
No, it's a sympathy.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, my English is amazing. Thank you, Queen. Thank you.
Last but not least, we're going to get into our first mini topic of today, and this is actually just getting to know the panel a little bit better. So what we'll do this time, sort of starting from front to back, we're going to start with Vin and go back the way through. So, Vin, first and foremost, a little bit like our Know Your Creator segment that I'm doing at the moment. I'm going to get to obviously help people get to know the panel a little bit better, and obviously where they started with their gaming roots. So first of all, for yourself, what got you into gaming in the first place? What was where did you start, and what was your first gaming console?
I started together with my brother. We got this Nintendo 8-bit for Christmas, and with Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt with the light gun, you know.
Yeah.
That was the start of the gaming, and I haven't played much in years after that. I was mostly outside playing soccer and stuff. And later I got the Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis in USA.
Yeah.
I don't know if in UK it's Genesis or Mega Drive.
Mega Drive.
Oh, Mega Drive, yeah. And got me back into gaming a bit. And we had these tournaments from International Superstar Soccer, you know, with friends, and then on a paper. Yeah. And you had these tournaments, you had to write down on paper, and at the end of the day, you just summed up the points you got, and then we had a winner. After that, my parents divorced, and my brother got a PlayStation 1 from my new stepfather, you know. And I started looking at what he played, you know, like Final Fantasy 7 and Metal Gear Solid and Gran Turismo. That was a game I really like to play. I got a bit more into gaming, and my brother collected the Nintendo, so I used to play with him on the Nintendos, you know, the Mario games, the Mario Kart, and the Mario Super Strikers, the one I really loved, the football Mario. And then after that, I bought the Dreamcast, and that's when I turned into a gamer, I think. I got like the Sonic Adventure, Jet Set Radio, Skies of Arcadia, my favorite game of all time, all on the system. Because you had this magazine in Holland, Power Limited. I started following it as well then. And that's when I got into gaming more. After that, the Dreamcast, you know, we all know the story. They quit it.
Yeah.
So I went to Xbox because of the Jet Set Radio Future, the Sega GT games, the Panzer Dragoon Orta game. And after that, the 360, of course. And then we got a mess with what's his name, Don Metric, I think, the Xbox One launch.
Yeah.
In Holland we had it like 1 year and 6 months later than the rest of the world.
Wow.
So
that was crazy.
Yeah. So I switched to PlayStation 4 for a while then, until it burned down, like literally burned down in my TV closet. And I was playing this.
It burned.
Yeah, I was just playing Destiny, and with friends, and all of a sudden my screen just turns in all sort of blue, So you see the shades of the gun and the enemies, but it's all only blue. And then I see the smoke coming
It's
out.
blue, da-ba-dee-ba-da.
Yeah.
Apparently that was the destiny of the PlayStation.
Well, no, then I got into
Destiny.
war with Sony customer service Holland because it was like 3 or 4 days out of guarantee. And then
really?
I got into a discussion with the Sony Holland thing support, and we got into a discussion that the PlayStation 4 shouldn't be in the closet but on the closet.
Oh wow!
And I've got like 4 or 5 people. It was terrible. My TV, also Sony Bravia TV, got like this fog style after it in it. Never went away. So that's when I quit Sony, got back into the Xbox, and
What TV do you got now?
I've got a Philips OLED Emulite.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really fan of the Emulite stuff, I love the Emulite.
Like Emu.
Yeah,
Emu
you
has it as
also
well?
got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Emu
I
also
got
has the Emulite.
you got the one Sloan, so
Yeah.
notice anything.
With the Xbox One, I started gaming with Bex, the Queen and you guys, and and now I play almost every day.
Awesome stuff. And what was it that brought you then? Obviously, your favorite game of all time. What made Skies of Arcadia your kind of favorite game ever?
Well, it's the game that got me into, becoming a gamer. I think you should say. My brother spent a lot of time playing RPGs, like Final Fantasy, and yet this Breath of Fire on the PlayStation 1 and some more. And you had this very simple trick with the Dreamcast to play downloaded games, you just inserted the Utopia boot disk, then turned the copy disk in it, and it played.
Yeah.
So I did it that way because there wasn't any stores in Holland anymore that sold the Dreamcast games, so I had to get them that way. And I spent literally like, I think maybe 4 or 5 months only playing that game, just to seek every corner of the game, find all the treasures and stuff. And that's the first time I spent so much time in a game. And till this day, I never had a game that came close to that.
Yeah, that's kind of sucked you in as much to kind of play it and find everything. They are very rare games that literally just take over your life, but not only that, but where you want to find everything. That's quite a hard thing to get in general, where you want to find everything in that game. Not because it's also you want to, and not because there's achievements, just because you want to.
Yeah. And it's also, later on, it's also one of the games I remember everything, Most games, it's like, oh right, that happened. I don't know anymore, like stuff like that. And Fleety Snake had this channel on Mixer starting, and he did like this recommended games, so you could recommend a game to him, and he wanted to play it and then review it, right? So I said, Skies of Arcadia, right away. He played it, and I remembered, seeing him play, I remembered everything. It was crazy. I remembered the entire game.
Start to finish.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
Sea of Thieves now is the second game that gets close to that. It's Sea of Thieves is like 3.5 years now. I play it, and I still don't get bored of it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And it's really cool, like helping you guys, including Shomberlon, getting legend. And I love you, Sean.
With real friends.
I love you.
There's the boot button.
So and now I've got my Series X, and it's on every day now.
Yeah,
I play a lot of different games, and a lot of different people. I met you guys, and Fleety Snake in the gang, and it's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome stuff.
I really love the community. So.
And next up, we will get to know a little bit more about Mr. Erwin. So, what started you off in it, and
Yeah, I
Tell us
started
your
off
story.
actually like Head of Finn, together with my brother. I think it was on his birthday that he got the NES,
Yeah.
the Nintendo Entertainment System, also with Duck Hunt,
Yeah.
which was really cool. And I believe Donkey Kong. We played quite some Donkey Kong as well, and Mario, of course. But Mario, I never really got into it or something like that. I don't know. I liked the first level, then afterward, I didn't mind so much anymore. But I was at the age, I was still pretty young. I'm still pretty young now. I'm only 37. Yeah, of course, at that age, when you're so young, you like to play outside, go biking, fishing. I was playing soccer. I was training in the midweek, and then playing soccer in the weekend. So I did all the things. But when the PlayStation 1 came out, a buddy of mine, he got it from his parents. But yeah, we didn't have a lot of money back in the day. So yeah, my parents weren't enabled to buy a console for me, let's say, like the PlayStation with all the games. But when I went to France, that guy got the PlayStation 1 with Formula 1, I believe 97, I think it was.
Right.
Something like that, and man, and we were both already like mega Formula 1 fans. We were both the fan of Damon Hill. I believe he got the champion also, not so much later, or maybe even in that year. I don't remember. In the Williams, but playing that game, man, the first Formula 1 in 3D, playing those games, and we were actually hot lapping each other with time trialing. Let's say, try to beat each other and. You have that track. It's in Spain. Shit, I forgot the name. But we were 1,000 away from each other. So 0.001 it was. So we were super close, and we actually want to try to beat each other. And that I actually built my let's say my love for hot lapping already back in the day. But I went to play with him soccer because he was in my soccer team as well. He was on the same school, so we were in the same class, and yeah, we went best friends back then, and we played a lot on his PlayStation, and mainly actually racing games. Colin McRae also back in the day. Colin McRae was if in doubt, flat out is one of his lines, and we really liked to play racing games already back in the day. Then the PlayStation, or then the N64 came out as well. I believe, was it the N64 or the PS2 first? N64, right?
Yeah.
N64 was basically along with the PS1.
Yes.
So
Yeah. I think I got it. I think I got it maybe 2 years later or something like that. But also with GoldenEye and with Mario Kart, right? But GoldenEye, I played I don't know how many hours with my friend Barry, and you could play rockets, but on that controller, if you have those little yellow buttons as well. If you just put your thumbstick in the yellow buttons, you could, let's say, curve the rocket around the corner if you do it well. So we were shooting rockets at each other, and we did it for I'm not exaggerating. I think 1,000 hours. Really, it was so much fun. But local gameplay, right? Not even online. But my friendship with Barry also started there.
What an amazing game!
Oh. Yeah, the single player, it was really it's such a good experience back in the day, right? I think if you play it now,
it was forbidden in Germany because back in those days, games where you shoot at human beings were not allowed in Germany. So you couldn't buy it. And I was an exchange student spending 3 months in London, and then I bought it there, brought it back home, and I was the guy at school having that forbidden game. And we played, like you said, like thousands of hours, 4 players, split screen.
Amazing. Looking at such a tiny screen, but man, it was fun. And I remember also a lot of guys from my school also had an N64 with GoldenEye. So we were playing also through the single player, and everybody was like, hey, did you do that? Did you do that? Did you finish it already? And we had already tons of stories about the game, and it was really it's really an all-time classic, that game. If you say N64, you say GoldenEye. It's simple as that. So yeah, we had a lot of fun, but also Top Gear Rally, I remember. Yeah, Top Gear Rally, and the funny part was you have those corners, and you could turn in the car into a corner and you exit it actually faster because you get a kind of catapult idea out of the corners. And yeah, it was super fun. And Mario, I played, the Mario 64, but I didn't go into it so much. I played Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I actually went only fishing in that game. That was bloody amazing. Really, it was so much fun to
Just
fish. And now I'm doing actually the same as CFT, so it's really funny. But I only went fishing in Zelda already. It's great. It just was a little bit outside the village, I believe, and you take your horse and went to the pond and go fishing, and it was fucking funny. So I played that, and then the PS2. So I played on the PS2 actually a year earlier than it was released here, because you had those stores, or let's say shops in the Netherlands, where some people bought all consoles, and you pay like €2.50 or €5 or guilders back then. You pay 5 guilders, and then you can play for 1 hour or 2 hours, let's say. And that dude had a little shop where you can all buy drinks and etc. But he had like 20 or 30 consoles in that room, so you could play. So I already played on the PS2 back then. And then I was actually quite disappointed by how the games were looking actually at that time. So I end up still buying the PS2, of course, with Gran Turismo 3 aspect. Magical memories of that game, especially with that forest circuit that you had, where the lightning came through the trees, where you saw it, on the surface, on the asphalt. The Dodge Viper, the GT3 car, it was, man. I have so many good memories of Gran Turismo. It was really nice. And then also you had that game. I think it was a launch game from Konami, I believe.
Metal Gear Solid?
No, not Metal Gear Solid. Shit, I forget the name. But it was quite decent. But I believe the Dreamcast after that came out, right? So I bought the Dreamcast, and I loved it actually. Also Virtual Tennis. That game was super good.
That was quality game.
Fucking hell, man! I loved it. Sega Rally, of course. Again, a rally.
Yep.
It's crazy. I'm mentioning all the games
Dreamcast
everywhere.
was so far ahead of its time.
The VMU. The memory unit, Oh, man.
Yeah, the memory unit also, but the controller was also really nice. I remember the Windows CE on it. So Microsoft was back in the day already involved. I played tons of games on that thing. I loved it. But the PS3 I won actually. So you had a launch event in Amsterdam, and I was in that day I was really into forums and sites and everything, and all looking on every day, and that's why Twitter for me is so great, because what I did every day was going to IGN, was going to gamer.nl, gamed.nl, all game sites that you have, to collect all those news from all those news sites and just overflow yourself with news. I really liked it. And back in the day, I already, saw Aaron Greenberg on IGN and explaining it, this and that. And back in the day, I thought, man, it would be nice if I could ever meet such a person. But I end up going to an event because I won. You could participate in a kind of lottery, let's say. And I was picked to go to the launch event of the PS3 in Amsterdam. So I could bring 2 friends. So I bring Barry and Arvin, another friend of mine. And at that event, you had like a Formula 1 game where you could win, if you set the fastest time, a PlayStation 3. So what I did, I won. I won a PlayStation 3 then, because I was the fastest on Formula 1. But the 360, of course, launched earlier. I forgot to tell. It was the 5th of November, right? The 360. And buying the 360 was actually tweet of the day, right, from Xbox. What was the first game you played where you saw this logo on the 360 where you booted it up? And for me, it was Project Gotham Racing. Played hundreds of hours, made real life friends from Rotterdam, from Belgium, meet up each other, went out, partying and stuff like that, made tons of friends. Participating on a high level with online gaming. I joined a racing clan, Dutch racing group back in the day. Was having top 50 times, top 10 times, so really nice. And then, logically, from 360, I went to the Xbox One. And then, we all know how the Xbox One went, right? I went also to Germany to pick it up. Went twice, made the pre-order, picked it up in Germany later on to get it. Sold it after was the biggest mistake that I made. Got the PS4, sold the PS4 after a month, got the Xbox One back, and then because I really missed Xbox's interface, my friends were on there, etc. So after a month, I sold the PS4 again to get a Xbox One. Got the Xbox One Elite with the Elite controller. Got again a PS4, sold it again. Got a PS4 Pro, sold it. Got the new Xbox One X, got a PS4 Pro, or got a PS4, sold it. Got a PS4 Pro, sold it. And now I have still the PS4 and the Xbox Series X. So that's the crazy story where I'm now, man. Took a little bit of time, but sorry, guys. But yeah.
No, it's all right. What would you say then your favorite game is of all time?
Man. I have so many fond memories of a couple games. Of course, Project Gotham Racing 3. It was the first real online game that I played and where I made real life friends. That whole thing with Xbox Live back in the day and going on the forums and make so many friends, meet them, joining a racing clan. So Project Gotham 3 is really close to my heart. Of course, also Forza Motorsport 2. We changed from the Dutch racing crew to VVV. It was Fanny Vidivici. It's actually an English-based racing clan. It was really big in the day. And they asked us if we could go join that clan in that day. So we did. It was a real honor to race for them. But we had that Forza 2 demo, I remember, on the 360. And in that demo, we were already hot lapping. So you could post your picture, post it on the forum and see how good you were. And I was back in the day. I was really fast. I was top 10. I even had world records on Forza Motorsport 2. That was my goal. Because I noticed when I was younger, I had the feeling for racing games.
Yeah.
And then I noticed with the online thing, I had those leaders board, and then I felt, hey man, I'm really quick. And then I focused on one track. It was Sunset Infield, I believe, with Corvette CR7, something like that. You could tune, so I made my own setup together with my buddy, and we were, let's say, 1-2. He beat me, I beat him, and then finally he stopped playing the game because I was too fast, and I had a world record for I don't know how many months. So yeah, super good memories of that. So I think Project Gotham and Forza Motorsport 2 was really one of my biggest favorites. And Forza, especially when I had the world record, I was so proud of myself that I could achieve that. I saw that hundreds of thousands of people posted at the time, and I was actually number one. So that feeling is super cool. I remember, playing tons of hours, and then when you see your split times, you are faster than a couple tenths from your fastest time, and then get sweaty hands, because then you're in the last sector, and then you get fucking nervous. Your hands are shaking, etc. You're breathing, you're almost fainting, and then boom, you go to the finish line, and then you have that world record, man. You lose your shit. It's amazing.
That's actually why I added you, right? I added you on Xbox Live because of your racing times on Forza Motorsport. I just wanted to see your times and try to beat them, but never did. But
now I don't spend any time seriously on it. Also, with a racing wheel, Forza Motorsport isn't really nice. And I noticed also the same with GT Sport. I am pretty quick, but I'm still 1 second off top 10. And for me, 1 second is a lot. So I know I'm quick, but I'm not the fastest. And still 1 second is not top split. So I will never be super good at the game. I enjoy it a lot. Still 1 second is not too bad. But I don't know. It's different. Also, the controller, you can be good in every racing game.
Because you're getting old, Erwin. It's your reactions.
Yeah, could be.
No, it's true. It's just
could be. But
it's a young man's game.
Yeah. But if you see Lewis Hamilton, he's my age, I believe, and he's still world champion every time. So you can do it.
No, he's younger than you.
Lewis Hamilton's not 37.
Yeah, maybe 2 years younger, or what is it? Fuck it.
I'm 2 years younger.
I look much younger than him, so screw it, man.
He's 36. He's 36.
Yeah, he's 36.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was younger.
No. So
I still remember him as a baby.
I think that pussycat doll keeps him young.
Yeah, he wish he had still, right? He's not in a relationship.
He's not. Okay.
I
thought he was
remember
still
his rookie year. Like he came second, wasn't it? His rookie year.
McLaren then back in the day.
McLaren. Yeah.
So that car was really good, man. Then those were the days in Formula 1. So, but I think also getting has to do a little bit with it, Steve. But on a wheel, you can still be quite quick because it's in your natural talent, I would say, to be on racing games quick. I also am karting. I'm still quick, but I'm getting too heavy, so I always lose. And I'm quite a tall guy. I'm 190 almost. So that's 6.1 or 6.2.
Really? I thought you were like 5'7", 5'8".
I've seen the photo from Erwin and Drew.
That would make me about 2 foot tall.
No, if I stand up,
you are a bit of a hobbit.
Yeah, if I stand up, Drew can almost give me a blowjob standing up. So,
Oh my
I've seen the pictures.
I don't want to know about your dreams, Erwin.
No, yeah, exactly.
we did a lot, and you never know. Yeah, secrets from me.
Where is this going, man?
And moving on.
We call it.
Can we
We
do
call it ideale pijphoogte.
I think we need to borrow something from the Iron Lords, and that's time.
Yes. So I stop, guys. Let's go to my neighbor.
Pot plant. Before we do go to the pot plant, I'm gonna say a massive thank you to the awesome chat this tonight. It's absolutely on fire. There's loads of people kind of interacting and talking to each other and jumping on. It's awesome to have you all here. Thanks again for the support. Of course, if you do love the show and you do love what we're doing, even just chatting and having fun, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share it out because it does help. Every little helps, obviously, with the channel, and the support means everything to us. So thank you again. But next we do go to the pot plant himself.
more of a pat plant.
A what? A pat plant.
Pat plant.
Pat plant, yeah. Pat plant.
My fault.
So yes, what's your gaming history, brother? Where did you start and favorite game as well?
Well, it started for me with the NES as well. Mario, Duck Hunt. That was basically the first really console that I owned. Played a lot of that back in the days.
All three of you have been Duck Hunt.
Yeah,
your first
Duck
game.
Hunt. Yeah, seriously.
It's the age, Shomberlon. It's the age.
It's just kind of like there's a healthy dose of plagiarism going on here.
But
what did he say? Duck Hunt. Okay, Duck Hunt.
Yeah. But
Don't invite him to see Steve.
And after that, we had a store near our house, and you can actually rent a console. And back then, we rented like the PlayStation 1, and that's really when I got into gaming. But I did it for like half a year. You could rent like different kind of games and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, like I said, half year, something like that. And then I got into the PC games, and one game that what I played a lot was Soldier of Fortune 2, Double Helix. And yeah, that was like the game for me that I played so many times and for a long time as well. I think I finished the game like maybe 6-7 times. I don't know. After that, I owned the Nintendo 64, like GoldenEye, Mario 64, of course. Like there's so many games. I can't even remember like what the games were. Like it's been a long time, but I think I think that GoldenEye, like Erwin said, I think that GoldenEye was the game that I played the most on the 64. Like had the sticky bombs, like throw a lot of sticky bombs on one place and let it explode and do it again and just keep grinding like that. It was crazy, yeah.
Did you also beat? You should also you had those challenges, right, where you finish a level in a certain time to get, I don't know, not an achievement, but you should finish the game or a level in a certain time. Do you remember that, guys?
There's golden weapons, right?
Yeah, you got golden weapons. The dual
golden weapons.
Yeah, the dual handguns. Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, that was cool.
I remember that. Yeah, that was pretty
level
fun.
With the tanks. You have those big tanks, also, right?
Cool. Oh, wow, man, that's. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but like it's been so long, like I see it in front of me, but
the dam of course, right? That level.
Yeah, one of the first one, yeah, exactly.
And the trains also.
And then after that, my nephew owned a PlayStation, and spent a lot of time with my nephew playing games, Formula 1, FIFA, GTA, Vice City, that was like mostly the games that we played with my nephew, racing games, shooting games. Played a lot of Age of Empire, Red Alert on the PC as well, with a buddy of mine. And then after that, it took a long time before I went to gaming again, because then I spent a lot of time with friends, with school and that kind of stuff. And after that, a friend of mine owned a GameCube, and I was pretty hooked on the Need for Speed series, especially the Need for Speed Underground and Most Wanted, that I actually also completed Most Wanted in one night. So I was just started 7. In one night. So I started around 7, what I can remember, and I played all night till the next morning, and I completed the whole game. Like that's it was great. Yeah, it was insane. Like we. My friend and me, we went to the grocery store. We had food, drinks, and everything, and we thought, yeah, why not? Let's grind this game and let's see how fast we can finish it. So yeah, it took me the whole night to actually finish Most Wanted, and that was pretty insane. Yeah, that was pretty sick. And
I used to do it's like Forza was saying before. I used to do the same things on Most Wanted as well with friends, because of course then online play wasn't so big, not like it is now. But on Most Wanted, we used to set times and things like that, or set bounty challenges to see how much of a bounty you could rack up before you got caught, or how long you could go on Most Wanted without getting caught by the police, and just have a time challenge. So I think it was like something like 15 minutes or something, 15 to 18 minutes or something without being caught minimum.
Okay.
Which is quite difficult, because it was like 5-star police and they used to come out of every area known to man.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, but that's where also that's what I really liked about the Need for Speed back then. Like if you play Need for Speed right now on the consoles what you have now, the way it plays, I don't know. It is not the racing game that I remember like from back in the days.
Yeah.
It's that also was the reason why I started loving racing games, like the Need for Speed series back in the days, and that also got me hooked right now on the racing games that we have currently on the consoles. So that's where the racing for me starting to love it. And I actually bought the. After that, I didn't play for a long time. I think back in 2009 or 10, I bought the Xbox 360 with Modern Warfare 2. And really, when I started playing Modern Warfare 2, and back then, if you enter a lobby, that whole lobby went crazy. Like everybody was like shouting to each other, calling out names, and it was sick, like, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome, like, let's go. And sometimes you also meet people, like you have like, I live in The Hague, and there you have like rivals, in Amsterdam, and it took me like 6 months to learn people on the Xbox. And then I saw one group of people, they had the same last 3 numbers in their name as me, 070. That means that people are from the same area where I live. And so when we were playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, we entered the lobby, and we actually got a lobby with people with 020 behind their name. Yeah, so man, this is insane. Like people were like, it was
the hunt is on. The hunt is on.
Yeah, really, seriously, it was insane. Like how people are reacting to each other, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy, and yeah,
so true.
For me, then the real gaming, the love of gaming started. Like the shooting games, the racing games, and yeah. So I'm hooked since 2010, and I owned the 360. I got the 360 Slim as well. I sold that. Then I had the Xbox One and the One X, and of course the Series X right now.
Awesome stuff. And after all that time, then what is your favorite game of all time?
My favorite game of all time is I didn't even tell about that, but it's Call of Duty Black Ops 1. That's my all-time favorite game.
Yeah. What was it that made that kind of stand out to you then? Was it the story, or was it just the online, or?
No, it was the online, because the online was like, like it was so awesome to play the game. The maps were good. Even if you have like a good team, like you keep playing and keep winning, and yeah, that was like achieving all the prestige modes. I was like prestige 15, if I'm correct. That was the highest rank. Got almost every gun on gold. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on the game, and I really liked it. So that's one of my biggest favorite games of all time. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. And of course, that's probably why you had such an affinity to playing modern shooters like PUBG, etc. Then.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I spend a lot of time in shooting games, So yeah, of course, every game is different, but like I think it's 4 years ago now that PUBG came out on the console.
Yes.
Something like that. 3.5, 4 years ago. Yeah, and that's like I started playing with Erwin, Emil, and Bory back then. I'm still finding pictures and screenshots from back then, like with the 4 of us.
I never forget the first time that we played.
No, exactly. Like it was such a blast, and it was like a whole new experience. I saw a few videos on YouTube, like the people that are playing on PC, and I was like, okay, this game is cool. I'm curious when it's coming out for the console, and it came out, and I got hooked. I think I spent now about 18 or 1900 hours in PUBG. So but now I need to take a rest on PUBG. I'm hooked on Sea of Thieves right now. And that's also a lot of fun with the guys next to me. So,
hey Pat, did you also get the Red Ring of Death, and Finn? I wonder who with the 360.
No.
console.
Oh yeah, I used to fix that. That's
Never.
how I ended up starting modern. Like originally was fixing red rings.
Really? Yeah?
I got it like 7 years later. I got it 7 years later, right?
Yeah.
And I sent it to Xbox because they said send it to us. We'll fix it, right? And I had the OG one, the white one with the SCART cable,
that,
right?
Yeah.
So I sent it to Microsoft. It was like in Hungary, I think the repair center was. And 2 weeks later, they just sent me the new one, the Elite with the 250 gig hard drive and HDMI connection, right? To me for free. After 7 years.
Whoa.
And that's customer
That'd be
care.
awesome.
That's customer care. That's why I love Xbox, man.
Man, that's great. I had it after 2 years, actually, when it finally got the Red Ring of Death. And I got the Elite version also, the black one.
The black one, yeah.
Yeah, the Elite
With
one.
with the hard drive and the HDMI connection.
Yeah, the HDMI. And I also, at the launch, I remember I buying the first HD-ready TV of Samsung. I believe it was 37-inch or something like that. And I believe all the demo pods also had the television.
Oh,
I remember Barry and me going to the shop and we were barking about, or how do you say that in English? Negotiating with the store owner. And we want it for that price because we saw it online and this and that. And we end up getting a real good deal. But we got the console with that television. So HD Ready was back. Like, holy fucking shit, this is the real shit. Super cool.
No, I've never experienced the Ring of Death. Never.
No?
I've seen
I
a lot
also
of
never had it,
never.
but I dropped my OG Xbox 360 when I moved, and so I had to buy the Elite one as well.
It was the fall of death.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, but like in Germany, Archie, you just said like the games you cannot shoot people, right? You told us at the start.
Yeah.
There was also this part, right, with Xbox 360 that you had this. If you shoot somebody in games, is it like green blood in Germany instead of red blood?
Yeah. We had those kind of censorships a long time. We still have it in some games. For instance, in Wolfenstein, the Nazi symbol. That's the English word for it. In German, it's called Hakenkreuz. It's not allowed to display. Actually, that's why I lost my first Xbox gamer tag, because back in the 360 days, somewhere around 2010 or something, I switched the region and bought Wolfenstein online in the UK. Yeah, and that was not allowed because I wanted to have the uncensored version, and that was not allowed. And Xbox closed my my complete account, and I had to create a new one. That's why when you look at my profile, my Xbox gamer tag is only like 10 years old.
Man, that's crazy.
It's just I can understand it in Germany though, obviously with the Nazi symbolism and stuff, because that's it's against the law to deny it, and it's against the law to do a lot of things with regards to what happened then. So
it's a part of history that you cannot wrap under the rock, right? Pretending it's not there. So
well, that's the thing, that it's in Germany. They don't pretend it's not there. They just try to educate properly. What they try to do though is stop people symbolizing it as a good thing.
Exactly, and so it's not that you are not allowed to display it, but if it is in context with something positive, it's not allowed. And in video games are considered fun, so you're not allowed to have it in there. For instance, in the movie Schindler's List, it's allowed because that movie is obviously not about fun. It's more of a historic display there. It's allowed. It's really complicated. We have this kind of censorship with a lot of things.
Also,
whenever it comes to violence, basically, we have the Doom games, for instance. I think the Doom 2016 game was the first Doom game that was officially sold in Germany. All the other Doom games have never been sold in Germany before.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, Archie, Gears of War or no?
Gears of War 1 and 2, no. Gears of War 3 was the first one that was allowed to be sold here. Well, you usually imported them, but then stuff happened like Gears of War 2. I bought it, imported it at launch. I remember that very well because those imported games are really expensive. I imported it, played it day one, and then you needed a forced update. And you were not able to download that update because your console was set to the region Germany, where the game officially didn't exist. It is really a mess here in Germany.
But can you download it now then? It's in Game Pass, right? The first
now it is no problem. But it was like a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago, when this whole censorship really started to
fade away,
be liberated a little bit, and then a lot of games were suddenly allowed that have been previously not or were forbidden in Germany. Nowadays we don't have really the issue. We have it like in the Wolfenstein games with those kind of things. Germany is very, very sensitive when it comes to that history. They don't want to have the impression that in any kind of way somebody is associating something positive with the Nazis.
I see the episodes from Fault Towers. Don't mention
the war.
Good question. Yeah,
it's pretty insane to hear that. Like the rules in Germany are that strict. I never knew that. Like, never heard about it or never.
When you get a moment, have a look. When you get a moment, have a look on Google about the Nazi grandma. Archimedes will know about that because that was in the newspapers. She's about, I think, about 80, 78, no, maybe she's a bit older than that, 80, 90 years old and still denies kind of all the Holocaust and things like that and was actually sentenced.
That's actually illegal to deny the Holocaust here in Germany.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's the same year, right? Or not? In Holland, we also have that, right? No?
No, I don't think so.
No, in the UK, we just call you stupid.
Yeah, it happened. But no, I mean, my Archimedes you probably all don't know, but my Oma is from Germany.
Okay.
Born and raised in Celle.
I was born in Germany.
Okay, so you're part German. I
part
feel
German,
much closer
Dutch.
to you now, brother.
Part German, Dutch, and English.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was last name Bohle, B-O-H-L-E.
Achtung!
Böhler, okay.
Yeah, she was actually, that was quite funny actually, because my Oma was she was in the Luftwaffe in World War II.
Okay.
She was doing all, when the messages come through and things like that, and I have to get news across to the
phone.
So
yeah.
We used to have to type them up, but she used to fall asleep and stuff all the time. So
okay.
We got wrapped quite a few times.
My grandparents were both too young. They were kids when World War II happened, so they never fought in the war. So,
but yeah, so it's quite funny.
So then obviously we've got the Battle of Britain because of your grandma falling asleep.
Yep, falling asleep. But I've got a lot of stuff from World War II through the Dutch side as well, because obviously their town was taken over by the Germans at the time. Mm-hmm. So over my Dutch relatives, we've still got maps of gun emplacements and things like that from where the Germans were situated around the town and everything. So we've got a lot of weird historical World War stuff sitting with our relatives.
It's really interesting.
Yeah,
I don't like the war, but I think the whole thing on itself is super interesting. All the documentaries, etc. The stories from my grandpa. He had a vegetable store in Den Haag. Also, the bombs that were dropped by accident closed down near their neighborhood.
Yeah.
But he even hit some people in their place. But he was a vegetable a guy who was transporting fruits and vegetables and etc. And yeah, he when he was back alive, he still said back in the day, "I still want my bicycle back." Yeah. It's super interesting, but yeah, it's been a bad time, but the whole thing itself is interesting to see, and also the equipment that they used and etc. The technology behind it, right?
Yeah,
it was so far ahead and so advanced, and everything was built around war, and that's mega impressive. And still at Hoek van Holland, also Vin and Pat, that all the bunkers, those whole coastline, right? Built full with bunkers and etc.
Pillboxes.
It's just so impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, but you go there with school, right? With the school trips.
Yeah, also, yeah. And I was living in Den Haag for a couple of years, and that guy was actually part of a community that was, let's say, almost renovating those bunkers. Again, so make it really nice from the inside, and has it as a kind of museum stuff. So people could enter and see how the things were built. It was actually a lot of Dutch carpenters that was being hired by the Germans. They said, "Okay, you can do this for
hired loosely.
Yeah,
or die.
Yes, but actually they get quite some good money, and if you don't do it, then you are forced to do it. Not a nice way. So actually, a lot of Dutch guys actually built those big bunkers as well. And yeah, I know there are a lot of communities. There are even regions where some communities are responsible for those bunkers, and they renovate and they look up for the history, what happened, and etc. So it's really interesting.
Like you say, it's not a nice thing having a war, but it was the only 2 times in recent history where it was a war that actually was worth talking about, because obviously modern wars, it's all about money and oil and.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not like it was then. The only reason the rest of Europe and then international USA, etc., intervened was because it was getting out of hand. Like it was literally one country trying to take over everything. And of course, you had the Axis kind of allies as well, where you had Italy and things supporting this regime. And a lot of people kind of seem to forget as well that not every German was supporting this, but they didn't have a voice.
And brainwashed by propaganda and etc. So,
exactly. It's an entirely different thing, and that's what makes it so interesting. Because, like I say, compared to the wars, I say loosely that there are these days, it's not even in the same ballpark in terms of why. But yeah, we'll get back on track anyway to the gaming. Next up, Woman Zuba. Shomberlon, your
Wunderbar.
Woman Zuba.
Your gaming history, brother. And
okay, is everybody comfortable?
Is
everyone comfortable? Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time. there was a games console so slow that you had to go outside and play, feel the air, the sun on your skin, get that vitamin D before you could actually play it. And it was called the PlayStation 5. No, I'm joking. And it was called Jasper will know.
Don't upset Archie.
I know. Jasper will know. I've seen it in the chat. It was called the Commodore 64. This was my first that was kind of in-house in my home that I had. I'd played, there was a kid up the street who had a Spectrum ZE, I think it was called.
Yes.
That kid was, looking back now, you know, when you think of something, you look back and you go, holy crap, that kid was disturbed. I watched, what did I watch? I must have been, 8, and I watched RoboCop at his house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 8 years old. Scared the crap out of me. But his Spectrum was the first kind of gaming experience I had. That was with Batman on the Spectrum. And then my mum remarried, and it was really my stepdad that got me into gaming. He was a big gamer, and he had the Commodore 64. So I was lucky enough to play classics such as I think now Smash TV, Bubble, if anyone remembers Bubble.
Is it the one where you're shooting balls to the top?
Is that your 2 little dinosaurs?
Yeah. You shoot the bubbles, right?
Yeah. Lemmings. I still have that tune in my head.
Yeah, I loved Lemmings. Loved Lemmings.
One of those things that what a game. Like, yeah.
Classic.
And you have the little Lemmings going.
Is that game that old? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Lemmings 91.
Is it?
Wow.
I think that came out on the. I think that was like cross generational, because I think that came out on the Amiga as well, which I also had.
Oh yeah.
One of the classic games of all time, Rampage. You don't remember Rampage?
No.
Yeah, the name says something, but I need
Jasper,
wait.
back me up here. Jasper, are you still in the chat? Come on.
That's not the motorcycle game, right? That you
Monkey, dragon, monkey, lizard, and wolf. And you basically went around destroying all the buildings, eating people while shooting at you.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that game.
So
I don't. Sorry.
Yeah. Seriously.
And,
look, wait.
And then we kind of upgraded to the Amiga, Commodore Amiga, which is kind of like, I suppose, it's not really a console. Would it be? I don't know whether that would be classed as a PC, in a way. And so some of these games, I can't quite remember whether it was Commodore 64 or Amiga that I played on, but Final Fight was definitely one. I always, whenever you hear like other podcasts, especially like the Americans, they always go on about what is it, the arcade culture, and we never really had that over here. Not that I can really remember. But one thing I do remember, I always used to love going on holiday to France because we always used to get the ferry from Dover to where is it? Calais. It wasn't really the holiday that I liked. It was being on the ferry and playing Final Fight in the arcade that they used to have on the ferry. That was probably me and my brother. That's probably one of the fondest memories I have of actually gaming as a kid. Was playing Final Fight on the arcade, as well as going like the seaside places like Blackpool. I despise Blackpool as a place. I think it's just because I used to go there as a kid and I hated it. But the arcades there were amazing. I loved it.
It was the same. We went to Newcastle with my dad for football matches, and you had this Norfolk Line ferries, right? And you had this Metal Slug game, but it's now free.
Yeah.
On Games with Gold, we played that on the ferry.
I used to love going on the ferry, not because I like ferries, because I love the arcades.
Yeah.
So the Commodore Amiga. For some reason, I have. It wasn't even a very good game. Like it's not one of those games that people always kind of go, "Oh yeah, do you remember playing this?" Yeah, I remember. American Werewolf in London. I do not have a clue why this game sticks in my memory so much. All I remember of it is I was very bad at it, but I remember just people in the London Underground. That's all I can particularly remember. I don't know why. Another game that for the Commodore Amiga that I absolutely adored was a game called ILP. I don't know if you ever heard of this game, ILP.
No.
It's very bizarre. Basically, it was like an adventure game, and it was really big. It was a really big game, and it was you had to do a lot of different things. Like you had to collect things to access certain areas and stuff, and it was really hard because you were basically an egg with boxing gloves.
Calimero.
So you couldn't really you couldn't fall at a distance because you'd break, you die because you're just an egg with boxing gloves. I have no idea what drugs the person who came up with this was on, but it's a really fun game.
Same as Boogerman.
So there was a couple of games then that I really loved. So Commodore Amiga was a good thing. It was my introduction into kind of the point and click genre as well. The Commodore Amiga. This is one of those things that I find it really funny now because back then playing what was it? Why that's too much wine.
It's going to be a long ass story, man.
It is gonna. I told you. Are you comfortable,
dude? I gotta work tomorrow,
I gave you.
This is my second time here. It's the second time you're drinking. I love it, man.
I blame you.
So was it all?
Woman's over. Secret Monkey Island. I find that funny because it's like on the Xbox, there's an achievement for completing it in under like 2 or 3 hours, something stupid like that. This was like a family get together for me. We would all sit there, be my mum, my stepdad, my older brother, and me, all kind of huddled over this monitor, trying to figure out what to do. Especially when you got to the forest with the swordmaster and trying to find the correct answers to her riddles. So for me, this is like the greatest of gaming periods for me because it was a real family get together in some parts, and there were times when it was just me and my brother, or there was times it was me and my stepdad that we played games. But I loved the point and click games just because we would all get together and play these games because they weren't easy. There was no internet to kind of look up the answer or anything. You had these, I don't know if you remember, Drew, because this is like borderline your era. The phone numbers you could call to try and get solutions that were like the premium numbers.
I remember them.
Yeah. So yeah, it was you had these premium numbers, and it wasn't a case of that you could go to where you were stuck. You had to wait and listen to each kind of like solutions, which racked up a phone bill, which we never did.
Often.
So I think me and my brother did it for a game called Akari Warriors, which is I think that was a Commodore game, an Amiga game. Akari Warriors. It was like a twin stick shooter, kind of, when you go upwards rather than sideways.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the formative years of gaming. Like the others have said, it wasn't the case I was a hermit and I'd game all the time. I used to go out and I used to be into sports. I used to play football a lot. Never really played for a team, but I'd play like after school for hours, till it got dark, that kind of thing. I'm telling you, it's my age. This is why I've got like a long list of stuff. I played, or we had, not that we actually ever had many games for it, the Atari Jaguar. Does everybody remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was
only by name. Only by name.
That's fair enough. That was a funky thing because the innovative thing about that was the controller. Each game you kind of got a sleeve that you put onto the controller, and it had so many buttons, and each game had different buttons. So you need this sleeve for the game to know what the buttons did. It's not a case of like right trigger shoot, left trigger aim down sights, and A to jump. Each button had a different thing per game. Although I don't have really very many memories of that because I don't. It wasn't very good. It's just it wasn't. There's a reason it's in the dustbin of history.
Yeah.
Is that where the ET game came out on, right? Or not?
What?
The ET game. Did they brew it in Mexico?
No. That was the NES. Oh, was
it the NES? Oh.
Which I had. So basically, I've had every gaming console.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The only one I haven't had is my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, she had a PlayStation 3, and then shortly after us dating, her house got robbed, and that was one of the things that got nicked.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, you should. The area I lived in was ranked number 5 for most deprived in the UK at one point.
Lovely.
So, but yeah, I've had.
That's why we don't invite you to a game.
He rushed us.
You still are shit. Yeah.
Really? No, it was just one of those places that it was like a little rabbit warren. I knew which way to go to avoid stuff. It was. If you want to know, look up Harper Hay, Manchester. There you go. But yeah, I've grown up with everything. Like I've had the Master System, I had a Mega Drive. When I say me, I mean like the family. Mega Drive, SNES. It got to a point like when I used to move about a lot, and like the kids never believed I had a SNES because my mum and my dad, or my stepdad, we actually had a day off school to go to London to buy a SNES. So the only way people believed me was I brought in a control pad in a game, and kind of like that was the most stressful time of my life, just holding on to this stuff to make sure it didn't get nicked. So yeah, I've had loads of stuff. Like my whole life is gaming memories.
What's your favorite video game then? Obviously, we know it. Splinter Cell ranks up there. So, is that your favorite all-time game, or?
I can't really say I have a specific game because different games mean different things to me. Like Splinter Cell, I just adore that series as a series. But when it comes to kind of like meaningful games, I would probably say COD 4. because the single player was excellent, the online was excellent.
Yeah,
but I made some really, really good friends online from that. So it's purely more of a sentimental kind of thing. Like one of the friends is the guy that I game share with on PlayStation and Xbox, and he came to my wedding. So it's one of those kind of like. I'm sorry, am I boring you here? Just the teacher pine. He's like, "Have you got anything to share?"
No.
You've obviously found something funny.
I get a lot of messages like about Miss Fine shouting on the background.
You hear Miss Fine on the background, right?
If you misfire, that's a doctor's can help you with that.
Only a lawyer.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, gaming has been quite a core influence with that throughout my life. From now until then, I would say the 360 is probably my favorite gaming console. Again, that's for the sentimental of I've met a lot of friends via that console. But yeah, gaming's been a big part of my life. It's helped me through some really dark moments, and I've had some really bright and fun moments with it. So it's one of the things I can't really see me ever giving it up. Even as I get older, I may game less, but I will still game.
Yeah.
But Steve, how old are you now then? Because you say you were old, like, but how old are you then?
I'm 39, 40 this year.
That's not old. Come on.
It's old enough. It's
I'd like me.
It's what?
It's only 2 years older than me. You're not old.
I'd like to think I haven't hit the halfway mark yet.
That's optimistic.
It's a spirit.
Come on.
It's one of those things. If I ever get to the point that I can't do things myself, then I'd rather just go to sleep and not wake up. But if it's to the point that I'm still enjoying life, I'd still want to carry on.
Yeah.
So I kind of hope at like 80 odd that I'm still enjoying life, that I'm still mobile and things like that.
Still gaming.
Online
Still gaming.
Doing the Midweek Mixup podcast.
Yeah.
When I'm older, well, I say when I'm older, I am old, but I will literally be Marty McFly from Back to the Future. I will be Marty McFly from Back to the Future playing Doc Hunt, and the kid's like, "You have to use your hands." That's boring.
Yeah, me. Before we get on to the main topics, I would usually go on to Archimedes next, but Archimedes is actually doing a fuller feature on Know Your Creator on Sunday. So we'll go into not only his gaming history, but also discussing what got him into being a creator in the first place. So we'll save Archimedes for this evening to doing this, and we'll get into some actual gaming news.
So he was giving me grief for no reason. I rushed things because he was like, "I need to go. I've got work in the morning." He was just like, "I'm not even doing it."
Finally, for fuck's sake!
Yeah.
Let's start talking.
I gave you a warning. Are you comfortable? It's going to be a story.
I like it, Steve. I like it.
What more do you want?
Started off nicely, yeah.
The youth of these days, so impatient.
The youth. We're 2 years younger than you. I'm 4 years younger than. Pet like 20 years younger, but okay.
Yeah, you're still within my ear. Wasn't the 80s the best generation ever? The 80s.
Oh yeah,
85.
90s.
85 years.
Being an 80s kid.
84, man.
85.
83.
90s is where it started to go downhill, and then the noughties, they ruined everything.
Yeah, me. But we'll get on to the first true topic of tonight then.
You're not telling your story then.
The small no. Mine. If you watch Know Your Creator, I'll go into both my story as well as the creator's story. So mine's broken down individually.
You don't know you don't watch the videos, Finn?
I do. I share them. Hey, bye, Shom.
Bye.
Bye, Steve.
I watch them all, man. So I watch all the videos, right? So
Okay.
I'm a patron.
Hey, can we do a big
first.
shout out to the 3 Patreons?
Yes, four in total.
4 now.
Oh yes, so big
Captain
shout out to
Clueless.
obviously Vin, Nathan Rogan, Muppet1169 and Captain Clueless as our Patreons so far.
Nice.
Or
Awesome.
if you like to say Captain Martin. He's also patron now.
Cappy?
Yeah, Cappy is a patron now.
Nice.
Well done, Drew.
Awesome stuff. It's well done, everybody. And thanks everybody for the support, of course.
Yeah.
Abe Simpson now. Okay. Hi, Abe.
Shouting at clouds.
Yeah, me. Yes, first big topic of today is to do with E3 2021. Now, obviously, we mentioned previously that E3 was going all digital on a previous podcast for this year. We've had kind of leaked information that suggests that E3 2021, the all digital event, is actually cancelled, which is a bit of a surprise one.
Not really. Not when when they wanted 6 figures for joining a digital event, when you can do it yourself for either free or the cost of what it.
The extra production cost. Yeah.
I mean, it's mental that they wanted that. It's just completely ridiculous.
Do we see then, off the back of the end of this news, do we see that's going to kind of be the end of E3 then going forward? Was COVID its nail in the coffin?
I think it was dying anyway. You had Microsoft, you had EA, you had Ubisoft, all leaving E3 as in the center. The center, yeah. And I just think they're a little bit unrealistic with things. I've heard a lot of media talk about it, like Jez go on about how it just, once the public was allowed in, it made their jobs a nightmare. Like Jez also covers Gamescom, and he's like, why don't we do the same, where the media have the first couple of days so they can get all the interviews, they can get everything sorted, and then the public come in. But
that's also that they have one day for Gamescom, right? But it's actually behind the scenes, right? Behind closed doors, everything. Normal public cannot go, but it's behind closed door, and we all know that Jez Gordon doesn't like people.
But that's I understand. They are
get it.
Anyway, Steve.
I get the not liking people. It's just. I don't like
the whole idea of E3 and Gamescom is a completely different one. E3 used to be that event where retailers went to look what is the big new game that they have to get into their shops in the holiday season. Back in the days when we didn't have the internet,
it used to be in a hotel at an airport.
It was
really?
It was for traders, and then the press got it. So the press wasn't. E3 wasn't done for the press. It was actually for the outlets,
the GameStops and things
the GameStops and whatever.
What's coming? What we got to do? Yeah.
So and then the press came in, and they combined those interviews, and that's when we, back in the days when before the internet, we had those magazines with the demo discs and everything. Came up. And then E3 developed itself into this media event. And the thing here really is, you are right, Shomb, if you're saying it was already dying. But I think that the idea of E3 was very important, or still is very important for the gaming industry as a whole, because it is the only time in the year where the general public is looking at the media, the gaming industry. I'm 100% with you. They totally overdo it. They got greedy. They wanted incredible amount of money from all the publishers for their little places in the hall. That's why EA moved out first. They just didn't want to pay this money anymore. It wasn't a business case anymore. Microsoft followed suit and so on. And now they are really getting greedy with those digital events because, well, let's be real here. A digital event doesn't cost anything. However, I still think an umbrella like E3 and a week where the whole world, and I'm talking about the regular press, not the gaming media, but the regular press, the big news,
BBC News, CNN,
BBC News, exactly.
Yeah.
They are reporting about gaming, and this does not happen.
It's the only time they do.
Yeah,
unless it's about flipping GTA causing crime to skyrocket.
Well, we all got those news.
Because there was never any crime in Chicago before GTA came out. It was a utopia. You know what I mean? No, but you're completely right. And but the thing with like E3, it's almost become a moniker. It's not. People don't tend to see it as the event, or what happens in the center. It's a period in July when gaming news happens. So if who's the people that run it? Who are the people that run E3?
I don't remember now.
Yes,
that's the one.
If they were to completely disappear and be never involved in it again, but people like Microsoft, Ubisoft, Nintendo, Sony, whatever, were still to hold the thing, people would still refer to it as E3 week. It's almost within the gaming community. It's that significant that even if this never happened, and even if it was an all digital thing from now on, it would still be called E3. It'd be called E3 week. Everything would be the same, really.
Yeah, but isn't it also like for people like me? I'm not that long into the gaming stuff, right? Yeah. So for me, E3 was like, okay, this is 1 or 2 weeks, and I get all the news I want, because that's when you looked up for what's coming to the Xbox, to the PlayStation, to whatever, Nintendo. What is it that I want to buy? Because that's the how you say, the moment you can choose, right?
Yeah.
Especially with new
consoles.
Gamers
Christmas. It's the great Gamers Christmas week.
But for noobs like me, I mean, you guys are like specialists, right? You follow everything, right? No, but like seriously, but I mean, if you are every day on Twitter,
we're more invested. Yeah.
Invested, yeah. Sorry. So, you have this, how you say, what is going to happen. You know what games are coming. But people like me, we follow it at that moment. E3, okay, E3 is coming. There's a big Xbox show. There's a big PlayStation show. A big Sega show. What am I going to buy? And I think that is what people are going to miss if E3 goes away.
Vin, are you saying you're a normie?
Well, yeah, compared to you, yes, I think I am. Yeah.
I mean, you are on a gaming podcast. That already means that you're more invested than like 90% of the casual gamers.
You need to give yourself a bit more credit.
You are on every minute.
No, but Erwin asked me, right? Erwin asked me a couple of times for you. Please join. I love this, right? I mean, you are amazing guys. I love you. And Erwin asked me, do you want to join? Sure. But
did Erwin ask you to buy the shirt?
No. That was in the beginning, when WandrinDutch was streaming, and I saw his advertisement for like the Iron Lords podcast. So I went there and I saw like about every 2-3 minutes there was this like money donation, right? So I asked Dutch, can I donate money to you guys to support you? But you need to have like 1,000 subs.
Yeah, 1,000 subs, something like that.
Yeah. So
tell your friends, guys.
Yeah. So, but Erwin and Patrick, I met them on Twitter and on Xbox Live, and I want to support this podcast. So, Dutch sent me like this link, I want to do a merchandise line, so you can support me that way. So that's when I started the Patreon thing, and I bought 2 T-shirts, 2 hoodies, and stuff like that, to support, because I cannot donate money. But it's the same with Archie, if Archie has a new video, he has the 1,000 subs, and then I gift him, sometimes some money for a pineapple pizza.
Yeah, that's really great. Great support you've been showing all across the community here.
Yeah, but it's for me, it's like you entertain me, right? I like to support people that entertain me.
You don't have to do it, but you're super generous, and that's why I think when we have a spot on the podcast, I know you enjoy it. I think it's very nice to have you on the show.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so it's great that you have people like you in the community that are so positive, that is active in the Xbox community on Twitter as well. We make friends. We're probably gonna meet up in a couple months to have a barbecue.
Probably,
Yes.
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm sure.
But I heard I have to bring my own meat.
Yeah.
Erwin.
And your own drinks.
No, I mean,
I've lots of head to be on. It's okay.
But I mean, getting back to the topic, I mean, I think what Ashu says is right. It's kind of like to see E3 die it'd be sad. It'd be sad to see E3 die.
Sad, yeah.
It would, because it's a singular event every year that everyone was used to. Obviously, up until recently, we've been watching them a lot longer than a lot of people have.
Yeah. And I mean the excitement around an E3 press conference in the gaming industry. There's nothing unmatched. Yeah, that's just
mega.
We have those streams. Yeah, and I was excited for the July event last year from Xbox. I was excited for the August event from Sony, but it's just not the same. It is.
No, I think that's why last year seemed such a disappointment, because it was spread out over such a long period. We used to kind of like having your Xbox on a Sunday, your PlayStation a Monday, Tuesday.
Exactly.
So there wasn't much time between announcements, and you kind of like you get over one hype, and then you've got the next, and then you've got the Ubisoft, and you've got EA where you fall asleep.
Yeah.
But you have EA. But it was just like bang, 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 bang. Whereas now it was kind of like, all right, there's a conference next week.
A little banger here, a little banger there, but not the big ones. And then, I mean, it was a special year last year anyway. But still, I mean, for me as a content creator, it's actually for me it's beneficial to have those events spread out over the years, because you have a lot more to talk about. Than if you have all the news in 1 week and everybody is talking about it. Of course, it makes more sense to have the little events spread out, but still the excitement around it is just something I'm really missing. And
I always had the goal for me to go there physically. I almost booked my ticket, and then I decided not to do it because I was going also a couple times on holiday with my family. So money runs out at some point. So I decided not to go, and then the whole COVID stuff started. Right, so I was bloody lucky to not book the tickets, but I still had a dream to go there. Right, all the US live as well. I had a dream to go there, and also the Xbox team that I met every year at Gamescom. They said, okay, please come over to E3 as well. You know, it's a different event, and please come to visit us also in the US. And so I really had a dream to go there, but probably that not gonna happen anymore. Maybe even if
what do we think's going to happen then? Obviously, like I mentioned there, it seems like it is kind of COVID pretty much sealed its fate. They were trying to get things back on track. The costing of getting this stuff up and running is obviously not helping, because people are refusing to pay like over $1 million just to get a spot on a show which is digital. Obviously, without a physical event, it's an entirely different kind of situation for them. And obviously, big companies like Ubisoft, like EA, like Xbox and Sony, they can host their own events, but smaller developers and smaller companies, etc. What's going to happen to them trying to show off their stuff? Are they going to have to tag along with some of these larger companies, create deals to get on their shows? I mean, what's everyone's thoughts on that?
I think that smaller companies, they're gonna make use of social media, because like everybody is on social media, and it's sad that E3 probably is going to be cancelled, and that also the smaller companies cannot show off on like a big event. But I think that a lot of big or small developers are going to show off on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, post their trailers or reviews or anything on that. I think that's where it's going if E3 is going to be cancelled.
I agree 100%. I think they already do that. Viral marketing has become much more important than it was like 2 years ago already. I still think smaller developers will have it unequally more difficult to get recognized, to be honest. The thing here really is, if you scroll through your timeline and you have an eye catcher like, I don't know, that 5-second clip from the new Fable game, yeah, you take a second look. But if you scroll through your line and you get a 5-second clip from a game like, I don't know, what's a smaller game, Deliver Us the Moon, a game I really enjoyed, and I think everyone should play it, but nobody would watch that or pay attention to it. And that was really the thing of these bigger shows like E3, like we used to have press conferences as well at Gamescom. Yeah, people forget that up until 2000, I think 18 was or 17 was the last one, where Xbox, for instance, had a press conference at Gamescom, and that was really the stage for those smaller publishers, developers to show their game and get attention. And I think really those smaller devs will have it much more or it will be much more difficult for them to get the attention they deserve. Yeah.
But that's why they tag along with shows with PlayStation, right? And Microsoft did last year, because you saw a lot of indie titles also, right, on that shows, and people were disappointed because they only want to see big bangers. But that's why they tag along with the digital shows like they did last year. So I think we're just going to copy paste more or less.
Absolutely. The problem is those smaller titles are usually not as impressive in a trailer as when you actually play them. And that's what happened at an E3. The media, the press actually got to play it. And then they said, oh, we had a lot of fun with this or that smaller game. And this is not happening anymore. And I think this is really something that I think maybe if they are smart, they bring back those demos again. I think the demo or the idea of a demo is what really helps. And I also think I made a video. I think it was my second or third video I ever did for my channel, where I talked about what a digital gaming event should actually be. And I think nobody is leveraging the possibilities we have in the year 2021, that you can actually have those playable demos just for a few days during such a digital event. It doesn't have to be just a trailer show. Yeah, you can actually give, and you can also give players, not just the media, a short demo of your game. Yeah, and nobody has been using these kind of possibilities over the last year, and this is what I'm really hoping that they change in the future. That we not just get a trailer show, but we have this digital press conference, and right after you get to play 15 minutes of whatever, the new Assassin's Creed or the new Call of Duty. Why not? It is what you can do if you visit E3. It is what you can do if you visit Gamescom.
The
hands-on experience.
Mouth-on-mouth marketing, let's say, that's totally disappeared. And like you said, the demos are actually a really good idea. Even only the 4 or 5 days that normally that E3 would last, just bring out the demo. But yeah, of course, making a demo also costs a lot of time and effort, and of course, then money, right, for the teams to make it. So
yeah, but they did it anyway for an E3. Every developer did it. You didn't show up without demo at these trade shows. So you have that demo ready. And now you can bring it not just in the hand of like 30,000 journalists, but you can give it to 2 million possible customers.
Yeah. I think that's what was quite disappointing about the Games Award when they had the digital thing, is that the games there, apart from like things like Songs of Iron, was crap.
Yeah.
Most things were kind of like, I'm not even bothered by that. Songs of Iron, I gave a go because I think Joe is just amazing at what he does, and
he really is.
It'd be great if we got him back on soon because he's done so many updates since. But it's almost like they held back. They could have done something like an E3. They were all indies at the Game Awards. They could have had some AAA stuff, and they can control the message a lot more when you've got a demo.
Yes.
So I don't understand. That's what I was kind of a little bit disappointed to hear. E3 Digital was cancelled because I was under the impression that they were going to have some digital demos. Maybe they still will, but I'm not sure.
No.
You never know. It's one of them things we can really hope. I mean, again, Jeff Keighley's obviously going to try and organise something now to capitalize on it. So we'll have some kind of show, but I hope it's not as paced out as it was last time. I hope it's more condensed.
And Gamescom, is it already decided what it's going to be?
You can count on it that it's going to be cancelled.
It's going to be a digital event. Germany is a mess when it comes to handling the pandemic. You won't be able to have a regular
get a barbecue, Finn. That's better.
Yeah.
So we shall see them.
The thing is about Jeff Keighley. I'm not the biggest fan of him, and I have I have concern. Yeah, really. And I do have the concern that he will become the substitute for E3.
That does worry me a little bit.
Yeah, and to be honest, this is something I am not really looking forward to. Yeah.
No, because you always get a negative Xbox show, let's say, where you always just like, okay, you got a game, not laughing, really business strict, and with hey, okay,
It's not even that. I think he's a little bit egotistical. I think it's all about him and what he can do and what he's done. It's not so much. He's annoying. He's a complete narcissist. It's not so much that he's pro PlayStation. Like everybody has their preference. I don't care about that. It's the fact that he is narcissistic, and it's kind of like he wants to promote his favorite brand over the other. And I know that people.
It's not just the brand. It's really about his connections. Yeah, it shows really, for instance, with Hideo Kojima. Yeah, he wants. Yeah, exactly. This is just unprofessional, and he has made so many moves, not just against Xbox or something, but for instance, the price leak of the Xbox One X. This is so unprofessional. I really don't understand how you can do that in such a position. But besides that, he has made so many unprofessional statements, and I get when a YouTuber does that. If we are not professionals here in that panel, and we make unprofessional statements all the time, but when you come to a certain come to a certain degree, you should expect more professionalism, and this is
But what is his origin? Is he like an actor, or is he like a journalist? What is he from?
He used to be. Is it G2? I can't remember. He used to be
also.
He was kind of like an online journalist type thing, like in video format.
Something like an early blogger or freelancer.
In the
early days of online journalism. Yeah.
I mean, what he's done is amazing. As an individual, what he's done is amazing. But like you said, if you had leaked the price before Xbox was thinking, you'd be blacklisted. This is what does my head in, is because he has so much power, he gets away with it. He knows it as well.
Exactly, and he is using it, and this is why I'm not a fan of him. Like you said, everyone has preferences. Everyone has that. There is,
but it's when your bias is so pungent.
Yeah,
it comes nauseating. It's like we're small time, but if the likes of even Greg Miller, your Lily Parises, anything like, if they were to leak something beforehand, they'd be blacklisted. You know what I mean? They would get nothing, absolutely nothing. I mean, it's even got to the point that Kotaku is blacklisted by some companies because Jason Schreier used to leak stuff.
I know him.
So everybody knows him. I'm blocked by him. 90% of the gaming community is blocked by him. But he gets away with so much, and he continues to do so. I mean, if I was Xbox, I'd sack him off. I really would. I
think the only reason they've got him on side is to prevent further leaks going out. Because I think as far as they can see it, they're going, right, okay, we'll give We'll give him information. We'll tell him he can announce it, but that's only because we know.
I'd give it someone else. I would give it
Control.
someone else. I would
Control.
preempt it. I would preempt it and give it someone else. I would give it your Paris Lilies, because that's the thing. A lot of people go against Paris because recently he's been pro Xbox. But I remember when the Xbox One came out, he said, "Sack this! I'm going PC because what they're giving me is now I can get that from the PC, which is cool. I completely respect that. And now that the Xbox Series X has come out and he's like, yeah, I'm digging this. People are like, oh well, you're just a shill. Blah blah blah. He's he's a decent guy. He's an honest guy. He goes where his preference is. So I'd give it to someone like him or Gamertag Radio. They don't have the
reach. As much I'm a big fan of Paris, no doubt. But they don't have the
that
reach.
is true. Yeah,
this is just we are always considering this from the hardcore game fan, but these kind of events have to be bigger than that. You have to reach the casual gamer, the regular audience, and Paris.
Is there anybody that matches him then? Is there anybody that matches?
Unfortunately, I can't think of anyone.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
I don't think
it should be one person. It should be an organization.
Maybe.
This is where I kind of admire.
Is way too small. Way too small.
This is where I kind of admire Jeff Keighley because he is. What he's done is he's done very, very well for himself. He's been clever. He's kind of gauged how things are and he's reacted to it. So what he's done has been very smart. He's just a douche. That's the problem.
I've met him in real life. I met him at the press conference of Xbox in 2015 in Cologne. When Xbox was having their last press briefing, then afterwards it was just all FanFest and online stuff that they did. But that was the last press conference where I actually met Phil Spencer as well, shook his hand, and met Aaron Greenberg, of course, for the first time.
I'm guessing you haven't washed your hands since.
Oh yeah, Alan Pierce.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's laminated it. He laminated it.
He's what's the guy David Duchovny plays in? What's he called? Zoolander. He's got that glove on, hasn't he?
But I've met him. I was in the front row, and he was sitting behind me, and I knew him. I knew, of course, who he was. So I thought, okay, fuck it, I have the chance now. Let's talk to him. So I was sitting behind him. I was looking at him. I said, hey, how are you doing, Jeff? And he was actually doing an kind of phone call, whatever, with somebody of the media sites that he was doing live coverage of that show. So that was really cool. And at that moment he was not reacting like a jerk or whatever. He was actually quite nice, to be honest.
I kind of guess that he may be a nice guy. I think we are kind of being a little harsh to him because he is very, very pro PlayStation, pro Kojima.
I understand where you're coming from because I actually saw a Dutch journalist today. Because he retweeted something that wasn't his face on Geoff Keighley. So even the Dutch guy is Jan Meijroos. He retweeted the ego or the selfish, or what is egoistic? How do you say it in English? The
selfish.
Selfish, yes. Selfish. Geoff Keighley retweeted himself without even watching, because he's so full of himself. And actually today the Dutch journalist guy put it on Twitter also. So I think people, his colleagues, let's say, in the business, also thinks that about him. But that's also because he's that big and has so big influence that you always get opinions.
I think even the most humble person can become a little bit full of themselves.
Even you can be.
It's kind of. But like I said, it's just like I don't think anybody can be impartial. I you know what I mean? I think you have your preference. I think Jason Schreier once famously said about being what's the word? Non-bias, which I disagree with. I still think you can have a preference, but still have the integrity to judge something based on its merits rather than your favoritism. But I think a lot of these people they believe their own hype. I think that's the problem. But again, like you said, I'm sure in real life Jeff Keighley is a nice person outside of the gaming space, but within the gaming space he comes across very douchey.
Yeah.
Especially with Kojima. Could you imagine the whole thing with Phil Spencer and his Kojima statue next to the Xbox thing? Could you imagine suddenly him having to be pro PlayStation? It would gnaw at him.
Yeah. It's well, I mean, again, we can only hope that whatever digital events are kind of coming up, it's going to be better than it was last year. I think, like I say, last year it was just too spread out. I think a bit more condensed show this year, where kind of the events aren't spread out over the course of a month or two, a month and a half.
Yeah, I mean, a 2 or 3 stretching would be nice. I mean, a week would be better.
Yeah.
But if it's stretched to 2 or 3 weeks, I could kind of get that. But when you've got like the mid-June to late August, it's too much. It's too far. People want, they're used to having everything in a small space of time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Completely agree. Moving on to the next topic, which is Neil Druckmann, the head, of course, of Naughty Dog, had a little message on Twitter the other day, essentially telling fans, of course, obviously I'm getting a lot of inboxes asking what we're doing, etc. And we are some way off of talking about the game or talking about the project in general, or projects is what he said. So it's obviously a couple of things in the work. Essentially asking them all to sit tight. So like we've discussed before with Sony Studios, obviously our concerns are they have a few little things in the works very recently, but also that they essentially need to kind of they need to book up their ideas and kind of figure out what they're going to announce soon and what they've got coming up. And Naughty Dog, one of the biggest studios, of course, Last of Us hasn't long been out. Now we know that the next project is probably 2 to 3 years, if not further.
I'd say announced for 2022, pushed back to 2023.
Yeah.
It's like I've said in the podcast before. I think the biggest thing is because if the rumors are true that they're going to like a sci-fi type game, which I think will be amazing. It's not like Naughty Dog are probably one of the best game producers in the industry.
Uncharted, yeah. Uncharted is amazing.
It doesn't matter what you think of Last of Us 2, whether you like the story, whether you didn't, whether you thought the game was great, whether you didn't. They are amazing at what they do. Neil Druckmann annoys me quite a lot, but I still see him as being very good at what he does. He's excellent at his job. Despite of what I think of his politics or what he thinks of anything else, I think what he does is amazing. But like I said in previous podcasts, the whole team, they have to make things from scratch. They can't use old assets and revamp them. If it's a sci-fi, then they're creating from scratch. So you're looking at at least a 3 or 4 year period. So 2020, so 2020. I suppose I'm being generous with 2022, 2023, because Last of Us 2 came out 2020.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 3 or 4 years. Which I'd say this with any studio, take your time. You know what I mean? If you can make the best that you can possibly make.
Yeah. Before we continue and obviously discuss this topic a little bit further, we're going to let Archimedes go. Obviously, he has to look after his little one this evening. So we'll wish you out if you just let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up as well, brother.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, I'm sorry I have to drop out. My son is a little sick. He has got the flu, and my wife has to get up very early this morning, and she just texted me, hey, please get upstairs and look after him. I want to sleep.
He's been told.
So I've been told, yeah.
No, it's your kid. It's more important.
Okay, guys. So thanks for having me on the show. It's always been a blast. I really liked the segment in the beginning. I didn't know a lot of the gaming history from you guys. We talk about games all day, every day in the DMs in our private chat group, but I haven't heard of your history of gaming so far, so I really like that. And so I hope you guys have a great show. As always, you can find me, everyone knows that, at Boxenberger, basically everywhere here on YouTube. I have my little channel. I just put up an Xbox roadmap trailer. It's something I've never done before.
If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's
amazing.
It is
Thank
very,
you.
very good.
Thank you. It was just a light news. Pardon me?
I was missing one game.
Which one? Which one did you?
Rise Son of Rome 2.
Oh,
Seriously?
Yeah.
As much as I want it, I don't think it's gonna happen. No, I really enjoyed doing that. It's only 1 minute and 30 seconds long, and it took me like 4.5 hours to do it, but it was worth it. It was so much fun.
Awesome.
So yeah, and I can't wait for the being here next week again. Yeah, so guys, have a great one, and I talk to you soon.
Have a good night.
Bye. Bye.
You guys too.
When's your next video?
Burger.
Probably Monday.
Cool.
Awesome.
Goedenavond, Broody. Tschüss.
Goedenavond. Auf Wiedersehen.
Goedenavond. Ciao.
Auf Wiedersehen.
No, I hope your kid's well, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Yeah, I think he will be fine. It's just the little ones always get those little flus where they have a fever for 2 or 3 days, and then suddenly they are back on their feet like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Better keep the wife happy, Broody Burger.
Yeah, I will. Okay, guys, have a good one.
I'd say I'd see you on Sea of Thieves, but I don't get invited.
You've had too much grog.
Okay, guys, bye.
Just for Erwin's sake, just so he knows.
Holy fucking hell. Oh, man.
That's why we love you, Steve.
The bear is loose.
Every show I'm here, he's getting tipsy. I love it.
10 out of 10 can recommend.
Yeah, is that a picture? Is that a profile picture, Steve?
Say what?
Is that a profile picture of you on the bottle?
Really? I don't even know what's on the bottom.
I don't know.
I just know it tastes nice. I'm not. I wouldn't really say I'm Polynesian. I mean, the nose is quite similar. But
It's also similar.
You see, I kind of wonder why the sad face. Like after a bottle of this, you are not going to be sad.
Holy shit.
Dear me. So, guys, what are your thoughts on Naughty Dog's next project then? What do you think it's going to be?
I don't know. I kind of hope it's something new. I think they 100%. Need to...
I messaged, kind of sent a little Twitter note. Not that he reads it or
you're going to wonder, yeah.
But I even just said, like, obviously, your work you've done is amazing. The storytelling you do, whether it might be contrasting and kind of volatile, people might love it, might hate it. The storytelling's still on point. So whatever you do, I hope it's great, but I hope it isn't a sequel, and I hope it's something new.
I'd like to see something new. As much as I love the Uncharted series, although I'm only
and Last of Us.
I loved Uncharted 4. Yes. I loved Uncharted. I loved Last of Us 1. I need to play Last of Us 2 once it comes down in price. Or Drew can send me his copy once he's finished with it.
Yeah.
No, but
I'll do that because when I get the PlayStation 5, I'll be getting the digital edition. I will not be getting the disc.
It's a game I do fancy now. I mean, Erwin gives it a raving review.
But Drew, why you want the digital version? Because then all your games are like 80 quid, euro, dollar, right?
Yeah, they have sales quite often though. Like it's the only time where I've
you can buy it second hand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I mean, you can like I said before, you can pull him on his politics. You can do anything, but the studio they do bring out. They haven't brought out a bad game in what, nigh a decade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're very, very good. I mean, I don't know what it's going to be like going forward because they have lost a lot of their
big team members.
Yeah, it's a lot of their leads. It's not just they've lost Joe Bloggs, who is working on art. They've lost the lead of art. They've lost the lead of this. They've lost the lead of that. So going forward, I don't know, but they always bring out bangers. So you have to believe that the next game is going to be amazing.
Yeah,
it's going to be. So, like I don't hold too much in kind of game of the year because I think that's just a personal choice, but it's going to be up there for the nominations. It has to be.
Yeah, you would hope so anyway.
But yeah, if you have the chance, Steve, please play it, man. The Last of Us. Yeah.
I will do once Drew sends me his copy.
You should have said, but obviously when I got it, August had it on sale for like £15.
I know.
I was like, that was an absolute bargain.
I know. I was this close to buying it from the Argos near me because they don't deliver because I live in the arse end of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it just came up with not option for delivery, and I was so close to getting. I looked outside and it was pissing it down.
And you're like,
are you living far apart of each other then?
Hey,
I'm several hours away from Shom. I'm in Newcastle.
Hours. Oh,
yeah. I live in the Scottish Highlands.
Yeah, but like Drew is
You're
in
near
Newcastle, right?
He's near Fort William, aren't you? So that's about four hours away.
I'm 2 miles out of Fort William. Fort William is technically where I live, but I'm outside of it.
Actually, it's maybe a little bit longer. About 4 hours in the car.
Yeah, about 4 hours from.
Wow.
About 4 hours. It's about 3 hours from Glasgow, and I mean, depending on the route, so it might actually be a bit longer. But anyway, I live in the arse end of nowhere, and I looked outside and went, you know what? I'll see what it's like tomorrow. And then by the time tomorrow came, I didn't realize that it was only on sale for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. Reduced back, and then it was back up to full price again.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing. Had I known that, had I actually read properly, because I just saw that you bought it for 15 quid. Had I known that, I would have reserved it and then just picked it up a couple of days later.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize. Now Game are like, oh yeah, you can buy this, blah blah blah, cheap, 25 quid. It's like, that's 10 quid more than flipping Argos. Screw you, Game. No wonder you're going out of business.
But what's Erwin? Obviously, you love The Last of Us too. So what are you hoping to see from Naughty Dog's next
fanboy?
For me,
Sony Pony Erwin.
You know what? No, it's Erwin's enthusiasm for it that actually made me really consider. Because before I was kind of like, I knew the spoilers, and I was like, I can't be bothered. I'd rather just pretend number 2 doesn't exist. But because Erwin has been like, no, you need to play this. It's an excellent game. It's kind of changed.
He's a salesman, right?
I did my job.
Yeah, well. I mean, I kind of could end up buying Last of Us 2 and a crate of tomatoes. You know what I mean? That's how good Erwin is.
I figured out what your needs are, your future plans, another business plan, and APIs. Whatever. No. But
I bought Call of Duty Cold War, right? Because Erwin said, "Look at the stream tonight. Make sure you want to buy it." And he was he was like 1 hour raging.
I was this close to buying Cold War, and then they said, "You know what? It might be 500 gig," and I was like,
"Nope,
I am not having that on my."
I bought it. It's an amazing game, but it was so funny because Erwin said, like, check it out tonight on Pet in my stream, and he was like raging for the entire hour. And then he
lost my shit. Yes,
always with Call of Duty.
Every time I see Erwin and other friends playing Cold War, I've got a little violin, like.
But somehow with that game, that's one of the few games that really lose my fucking shit every time. I don't know why it is, but every kill I get lose my shit. But it doesn't matter. But to come back to the topic, guys, I think everybody should play The Last of Us, and because of the animations in the game are super super detailed, super well done. The game.
I love the stealth. The stealth in the game is really good as well, mind.
Gameplay wise, besides the story, all those opponents make it already a very good game. The creation, you can upgrade your weapons. The way Housey does it when you're standing at the table, upgrading your weapons. It looks like that. Everything what they have made is so detailed and so well thought, it's really impressive. So I'm still excited when I'm talking about it. I think it's one of my all-time favorites. And I just played The Last of Us 1 too late, where we discussed it already for a couple times.
Yeah,
played it a little years too
I
late.
played it like 4 years after it came out.
Yeah, me too. So I wasn't super impressed by it, but The Last of Us now is, for sure you're gonna love it. And if not, then fair enough. But you should enjoy it. But for me, it doesn't matter really, Drew, what I think that they're going to make, because I think what they do really well and really detailed. That let us surprise us with something crazy.
Are you hoping it's something different, or you're hoping it's another sequel, or
what would you like
something
to see?
New?
I hope it's going to be. I think you know what the thing is. They're really good at narrative-driven games, storytelling. So probably they should focus on that, but maybe a totally different setting, and not always the guy with his daughter or whatever. Right? Those things. Maybe they just What games did they make in the past before Uncharted and
Jack and Dexter?
Crash Bandicoot. No, but I think you're right. I think that's why a sci-fi would be so good, because it's completely different to what they normally do.
Yeah.
Like both Last of Us and Uncharted are very over the shoulder in a forest, looking beautiful. So I quite like to see them spread out a little bit from that and see, really see what they're made of. Try something different rather than the formula that they're very, very good at but used to.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It's just like a movie, right? That in a positive way that you are playing.
Yeah.
So deep into the story, and also because it's looking so realistic, because it looks so impressive. Even on the Pro, I think it's still one of the best looking games ever. When you're walking on the horse, when you're walking through the grass, everything is so detailed. The face animations, the pain that you see when you hit an enemy, you see the pain he's getting when you hit it, right? Those tiny details will get you so immersed in the game. It's incredible. So in somewhat way, I don't want them to really go too much away from that part, because that is what drawing you into the game. That it's so deep. I don't know if it's a sci-fi. Then I really think about a Mass Effect or something like that, right?
Could you imagine a Mass Effect type game from them? That would be amazing.
Yeah, the storytelling.
The storytelling, the detail. One question. In Last of Us, is there a certain animation for a nut shot?
What?
Punch someone in the nuts.
For a nut shot, from a sniper in the nuts.
I think when
I think. Let me think.
Yeah, that might be true, but because they did everything so realistic. Also, let's see. You remember the trailer where she went out of the water and she stabbed somebody in the fucking
right in the neck.
Right? She was playing on the PS. Fucking hell, man! But it's just in so tiny details, and it's really good. And also the porno scene, was really nice.
The porno scene was very nice. It was very artistic. It was tastefully done.
Really, really detailed.
And I watched it 7 times.
Really detailed. Yeah.
I became premium, right?
I remember I was paintballing once, and there was a guy that was cheating, and I got a nut shot on him to stop him cheating.
Holy shit!
It's gotta hurt, man. But I mean, has Vin or Pat Plant have any use?
Well, I've I love the Uncharted series. I have to be honest, I haven't played 4 because my PS4 burned down. So
yeah.
But I love 2 the most. I really, really love that game. So, but sometimes a story ends, right? So I get if they want to do something new.
Yeah.
But they make good games, so I wouldn't know what they are gonna do. But it's probably gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
Vin, if you can get yourself a cheap PS4, whether it's an OG or a Pro, get it to play Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 is a brilliant game.
Steve, I know that, but after my how you say that?
Bad experience.
Bad experience with the Sony customer service.
I get that, but there's a thing called OnlyFans. So
I know. I have an OnlyFans, €5 a month. You can see me naked. But
it's got cream everywhere.
I'm not. I don't want to be a fanboy. It's not like I'm pro Xbox.
Yeah,
but
you just Sony's pissed you off with what they've done previously.
Yeah, but I had 3 devices, Steve. 3 devices that broke down within a year, right? Well, my PS3 burned, so my TV broke down. I had this fog in it because of the burn, and then I had this Sony Vaio laptop, right?
Yeah.
And Sony decided, oh no, computing is bad. It's not profitable. Fuck off with the computer division. And then I was like, okay, I need to fill in my text form, right? I go on to the computer. The computer says you need an update. I press OK for the update, and then Sony says we don't support the update anymore. So my computer was useless. I call again. They say at customer support Netherlands just say, well, that's not our problem. You bought it. Yeah, it's your product. You support me, right? And they said, they only said, no, we shut the service down. Fuck you. That's what they said.
Look at Pat, he's pissing himself.
I'm never buying anything Sony related ever again.
But
I hope they die. I hope.
Okay. Can I
care.
rephrase my statement?
Yep, of course.
Okay. Buy a PC because everything's going to PC anyway.
Yeah. Get a PC. Get a good PC.
No, I don't have a good PC. If I had, I would play it.
Yeah.
100%.
Hey, you don't. I mean, give it a year or two. By the time it's actually ported over, a medium PC will be able to play it.
Oh yeah, maybe. I have this. In front of me. This is my work laptop for my for my schooling from work. It's not like I can play Age of Empires and Football Manager and stuff, but
I mean, if PlayStation had something, like I don't know, a streaming service where you could stream games.
PS now.
Yeah, but it's
no,
still
I'm showing you PS now. You can't see half the games that they're offering.
No, but it's still on it's still on your PlayStation, right? So
no. I mean, I get kind of that you've had a bad experience with PlayStation, but I mean,
no, it's Sony in general.
No, Sony, yeah, Sony.
It's not maybe I don't know how it's in UK, but in Holland, these people, it's I think they do. I think they deserve to be in jail for real.
Can you put on a British accent? Hello. I have a problem with.
Have you heard my English? my Dutch is even worse.
This is Louis van Gaal. Please take my place.
Louis van Gaal.
My Dutch is even worse, and it's not like how you say, Dutch is from a certain city, and I'm from the other city, right? So so it's like. If I call them and you have this accent, right?
Can you?
They talk to you. It's already making me rage, and then you have this like silly fucking bastard calling you like you need to put the PlayStation on a closet. No, it's gone to my ceiling. How do I do that?
Okay, Vin. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yes, it's still burned down.
It's still burned down. Yeah.
Take the port out.
It was on fire. I turned it off and on again, and it burned again.
Finn, you know what we're gonna do, mate?
No.
You pre-ordered the headset also for me, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do a GoFundMe for Vin.
I'm gonna pick that up, that headset, and I will drop down my PS4 Pro at your place.
No. But I'm not gonna play it for real. And like Steve said, you don't have to support like GoFundMe.
He'll have it in his house for like 20 minutes and it'll burn down. He'll be like,
this
really?
morning.
Really?
I think actually, I don't think it's PlayStation or Sony. I think Vin's a pyromaniac.
No, I'm not. But even this morning, I spoke to Erwin on WhatsApp, and I tried to get the PS5, from because it went. You could buy it again this morning just to scalp.
I tell you what,
I'm serious. I just wanted to scalp. Pick it up for 500, sell it for 1,000. And I don't care. I just don't want anything Sony related after my experiences with them ever again.
But Finn, if I gave it you for a loan, just fuck it.
Just to play it.
No, he'd burn it.
It's in my garbage can at the back. I'm for real. I don't want anything Sony related ever again.
No, I think you're being a bit harsh. I understand you've had a bad experience, but
no, Steve, it's 3 devices and 5 people I've spoken to, even the manager from Sony in the Badhoevedorp, right?
So you're telling me if somebody gave you a PlayStation, you'd be like,
he's on my bumper.
Nope. Erwin is offering to give you his PS5 when he gets one, and you're
he said PS4 Pro.
No, he didn't. He said PlayStation. So I'm inserting the 5. He's now buying you a PlayStation 5, and that's kind of a locked in.
Yeah,
If I get that, I will send it to someone who wants it. Like charity, you know. I don't want it. I'm serious. I really don't want it. After what they did to me, no.
No.
We'll get on to the next topic anyway.
just responding to Ashu. Young Gay, I wouldn't say he's a PS shill. I would say he's more of a. He's more PC than PS. I actually quite like Young Gay. I think he's quite fair in his assumptions of stuff, but that's my opinion.
That's fair enough. So
I don't think he's a shill.
Next
before
topic
you go,
anyway. Yeah, go on.
we go to the next topic. I'm gonna head out, guys, because it's already almost 11 p.m. and I need to work early tomorrow. So
no problem, buddy.
God damn, you need your beauty sleep.
It's all right. We're on the last topic anyway, so we'll let you out, and if you let people know where to find you and what you're up to next.
Yeah, Finn, tell me.
It's the same with me, right? I have morning shift as well, right?
You can find him on Sea of Thieves not inviting me.
Well, no, you can find me, of course, on Xbox, Betsu070. Same as on Twitch. Gonna be streaming soon, so this weekend, of course.
Yeah.
And on Twitter, that's the most platform that I'm on. The most social media that I'm on. So yeah, man, that's
Guys,
about it.
I will follow up with you. Big day tomorrow. So I'm gonna head off as well.
You invite me to the show and then you leave.
We're on last topic anyway, and then we'll wrap it up. Obviously, we've got one more thing to show, and that's the new merch.
Let's do this quick and dirty, and then I head off.
So we know how Erwin rolls, quick and dirty.
Quick and dirty, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
That's the wife now.
Guys, do you want a quick and dirty or the full 2 minutes?
No, this is mainly about the Elden Ring leak image. Obviously, it's a very short trailer, like a minute and a bit long. Obviously, really bad quality, but just thoughts on what we've seen so far. And this is the trailer here, just in case you hadn't seen it.
Oh, this is better quality than I've seen.
So, holy crap. I didn't see this, this first time.
No, the same for me. I only saw the phone one,
How legit is this?
Yeah, this is like a leaked full video from it. It's only about a minute or so long, so I think that it's taken from a much longer trailer.
You know why this is true? Because I saw also Aaron Greenberg said, no, we're not going to announce anything in an event or something like that. And that's the same thing that he said about Perfect Dark, right? So for sure, they will going to announce this.
Oh, definitely.
My bad.
Man, so what's everyone's thoughts on what you're seeing so far?
It looks a bit like The Witcher, right? Gameplay-wise.
Yeah, correct. But looking very good. If this is going to be, then I'm going to for sure. And this is going to be on Game Pass then also, right? Because it's a Bethesda game.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
So, but looks really good. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But is this Game Pass day one then?
Yeah, sure. Every game that is from Bethesda releasing is going to be day one in the Game Pass, guys. So.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was Bethesda. I thought it was the From Software,
No, it's Bethesda, right, guys?
Elden Ring, I think it is.
I think it's Bethesda.
Okay. I only know From Software, the developers. I didn't know they were Bethesda.
No, but From Software make the Dark Souls games, right? So, aren't they?
It looks awesome.
But really good. It's super impressive, man. Seriously, it's the first time that I watched it. I only saw some pictures.
Yeah. I watched the phone one. The one taken with the phone.
Yeah.
It was on Twitter.
Yeah. That's what I saw, but not a full gameplay video like this. So this is really impressive.
Yeah.
I think we're up for a treat, especially when like games like Starfield. That's probably gonna look mega insane as well.
Oh,
I hope Aaron is wrong. Again, like he said, we're not going to show anything big on the March probable March event. So let's hope that they will and surprise us and blow our socks off, man.
Oh, most definitely. And we get to the final part then. This is the last little thing that I'm showing off today, and that is the new merch for 2021. And this is what I'm showing off right now. Boom.
So
you have the two lightning tees, both male and female. So you've got obviously the Midweek Mixup logo on front and back, top of the shirt, and obviously the lightning strike that goes down. You've got the new Midweek Mixup sweater for both male and female.
Really good. Yeah.
And then finally the varsity hoodie at the bottom.
Is it also in all colors again, Drew?
Yeah, well, they're the colours so far, but I can put up more colours on request. So yes.
Yeah, same as the list. Okay.
Yeah, same as last time. So on request, put more up. So if anybody likes any of those, the links will be going up shortly. I've only literally just got them all sorted today, so I'll be updating the website and putting the new links on for the new merch.
I'm gonna buy the hoodie.
The hoodie, the varsity jacket.
The hoodie.
Yeah, the one on the down right, that one.
Yeah.
I want that one, but with the expo screen inside.
Yes, I can do that. I can do that.
Oh fuck! I'm going the wrong way.
And here's a little thing. This is just in case you don't understand everybody how tall Erwin is compared to a lot of people, because we always joke about it. But here's the photo we're joking about.
I've seen another picture of you and Erwin together, where he looks more taller than you.
This is far taller than me. Far taller. He's a foot taller.
Erwin sent me another picture of you two, and he's like almost double your size.
Yes, and that was me. That was me on a stepladder.
Great experience, man.
It was really
such
good.
A fun night, Drew.
Such a good night. But yeah, I want to say that a massive thank you to the chat and everybody that came along tonight to obviously sit through our gaming history and obviously discuss the topics for this evening. Absolutely amazing again for the support. I want to kind of reiterate as well, everybody who comes and supports us week in, week out, please go over to the Iron Lords podcast on Sunday and support them, of course, after losing one of their panel members, iDIZZYi, this week.
How late is that show in European time? You know that?
I think it's 6-7 p.m. European time.
Yeah.
So it's not that late, to be honest, not that late. But show them all your support.
Yeah, I'm going to join them then.
Yeah.
And of course, I have underneath the video as well in the description, I have put the link to the GoFundMe page for his family. So if you want to support the family a little bit more as well, then the link is underneath the video. But other than that, we'll do our outros. Again, thank you everybody for turning up. Erwin, if you would like to let people know where they can find you, what you're up to, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, people can find me on Twitter, Forza Erwin. Gamertag is Forza Erwin. Twitch, Forza Erwin. Remsport 84. Skidmark 84. Only then the translation to Dutch. Probably gonna play a lot of CFTs. My main goal is Legend. So if I'm playing something, it will be Sea of Thieves. I want to get Legend as soon as possible. Not only because to get the status, but I really like it. I cannot help it. It's almost an addiction, even. It's crazy at the moment. But just because you play with friends and having a good time and doing something else. Maybe some racing, not sure yet. I'm kind of feeling blue at the moment about racing. I don't know why. Maybe I need to start up again some Assetto Corsa Competizione. Good week ahead with work, weekend. Looking forward to it, guys.
Awesome stuff. I don't know whether or not Shom's there. I would ask him, but I'll go to Vin first.
Best out. Probably.
Vin, if you'd like to know people, let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up.
I'm going to join Erwin on Sea of Thieves, of course. to help him get legend. Same with Patrick, same with Emil, Barry, and the rest. If Shomberlon wants you, and you, of course, Drew, I'll always join the party. If I'm available, I'm always ready to help. I told Erwin and Patrick and the guys the same. For me, it doesn't matter. I'm always available for whatever game. And you can find me on Twitter, on Xbox. It's all
HurtDogVinX.
Sometimes I stream, sometimes. So don't expect me to stream a lot. Maybe I will do it more. Hello, Steve.
No, that was my wife that was giving the finger to. It wasn't to you.
Oh, it wasn't to me.
No, if it was that way, it'd be that way. But it's that way. It's that way.
I love you, man. No, but I'm always free to play games.
She wants me to show you a Snoopy that she's got that's like it's dead, cross-eyed, proper.
She shows you this, right?
Probably she's doing something else because he's so.
He's so distracted.
She's like 1 bottle of wine. Really? I had this, and this. It's like because you're paralytic.
And send the regards to Miss Fine, Finn.
Oh yeah, she's still gaming.
Oh wait.
And last but not least, we have Shomberlon. So if you look,
and don't forget to subscribe to my OnlyFans, right? Erwin is now my only fan, but
the only fan on OnlyFans.
There's no fans for.
Shom, if you let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up as well.
You can find me at Shomberlon. I've started to stream Final Fantasy Remake, but streaming with me is just like if I'm in the mood for it. So if I'm there, I'm there. If I'm not, I'm not. But you can find me at Shomberlon on Twitter and Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus. So yeah, hit me up. If not,
Awesome stuff.
Anyway, where can we find you, Drew?
You can find me at Twitter at WandrinDutch, Twitch at WandrinDutch, YouTube WandrinDutch, and Xbox Live WandrinDutch. Still wondering, yes. But yeah, you will. There is another Know Your Creator coming up this weekend, so of course I will post the link to that. Patreons get that first on Friday. This week we have 2. We have Italian Clowns first and foremost. Followed after that by Ains from Season Gaming.
Oh, that'll be fire!
Lovely guy.
So yeah, 2 awesome shows.
Oh, I don't know him. I will watch that then.
You don't know Ains? Ains is awesome.
Yeah, Ains is really good guy.
No, but Steve, I started only like last year, right? So I met Erwin and Patrick, and they said, "Oh, we're going to start a podcast," and Fleety was going to do the streaming, right? And that's the part I rolled into this whole community world thing,
Yeah. Okay, we need to sit down with you and really go through the ins and outs
of who to watch and who not to.
If you can, look at Season Gaming. It's amazing. The people you all look at: Season Gaming, Iron Lords, RDX.
Yeah,
Iron Lords I know. Iron
Lords are amazing. RDX is amazing. Season Gaming are just so down to earth.
An awesome website as well.
Ains is awesome. The website is amazing. Ains and is it Dan? I always forget his name.
Yeah, Dan Rodriguez. Yeah,
I always want to see Ben for some reason. I don't know why. But Dan, Dan's amazing. Ains is amazing. Their podcast, I think, is on Spotify. If you've got Spotify or iTunes and things like that, so it's definitely worth looking at their podcast.
But it's the same, like with the Mr. Boomstick, right? The first episode from
Boomstick's cool. Boomstick is cool.
But I really didn't know him, and then like I'm a patron, so I got the message from Patreon. Dutch has a new video, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is Mr. Boom, right?
No,
and I never would have guessed. I never would have guessed he was like at the end of his 50s, like a retired cop and stuff. For me, this is new, right? So I'm sorry, but I'm not that familiar with the world.
It's awesome. That's why we're doing the show, though, is to get everyone familiar with some of these good creators.
And that's why I like, the interviews you do. But the best one, the Thomas Sala thing last week from the Falconer. Man, together with Erwin, that interview, man. Thomas Sala had no borders. He was just speaking all freedom. Man, that was lovely.
He even said we had some good questions, so that's a big compliment right from his.
I think that's the same with him. I think with Joe, I think that's what I like about Joe as well. Is he's so open, about stuff. Again, I think we need to get him back just as an update for what he's doing
for his development, etc.
And not just to promote his game. It's just like he's a gamer. I'd love to hear what his views on the current situation with E3 and things like that are.
Yep, 100%.
And 100%. Did I hear right? He's left the company that he was previously with to focus.
Yes, left his AAA to focus solely on development of Song of Iron.
That'd be cool. That's a ballsy move. You must have a fair amount of confidence in what you're doing. I mean, to give up your guaranteed paycheck.
Yeah, most definitely. Right, guys. I hope you have a great night, and we shall see you all same time next week. Have a good one. Auf Wiedersehen. Slap goed.
Verdamme.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.